to the Pittsburgh Steelers for safety Minka Fitzpatrick and a future 5th-round pick.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh no.
I hate that part of the intro there.
Which one?
Where the Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
Well, it
seems uncalled for.
Well, this was done pre-digital.
Yeah, I guess so.
That is raw audio from the mid-90s.
Hello, friends.
Hey.
That's the early 90s. I'm not Jason Minix.
No.
You may note, nor am I Joe Reinagel. My name is AJ Hoffman. I'm new here.
You say that. It's been a year. I don't think you're new here.
It's been 14 months now, actually.
So you can't.
You may recall the time, if you're a longtime listener of this show, you may recall the time when I first got here and I did 1 hour every day for a week on this show, just so the audience would be quite annoyed with me. And it worked out because here I am. Finally, my goal all along was to take over the afternoon show, and finally, the powers that be determined that the Blitz was not the long-term solution here. So, by the way, my co-host here, this is Mr. Rob Thompson.
No, I want to hear this. Keep going. They know me. Go ahead. I've been here.
So,
I sat in this room.
Yeah, Rob and I are, we are...
No. I just want to hear the rest of the story. This was getting good.
Well, yeah.
James went to get some popcorn.
That's where I'm going.
I want to hear.
I'll give the story.
I wanted to hear how this is gonna end.
The Blitz, as you know it. Well, it's pretty clear they're not here. What we are is.
No, don't say we. Whatever story's about to happen in the next 10 minutes, then it's we after that.
We've
already taken an exit. I want to see where this is going.
We're the new sheriffs in town. I don't know if you...
I'm kind of the emeritus. I'm kind of sitting up on a patio.
I don't know. This is a pop culture reference. I don't know that you'll understand. But we're kind of... Have you ever heard of the NWO? When...
Do I have to paint my beard black?
Yes, you're going to have to put black paint in your beard. We are...
Back on the juice.
Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
How did it turn out for them?
It was the greatest run in the history of their program, the greatest run in the history of their company. By the way, this is our third co-host.
Really, our mascot. Anyone you haven't gotten a chance to see, so we understand.
He didn't want anyone to recognize him, so he came in incognito in case someone tried to take him out at the last minute. But surprise, everybody! It's the cat!
The carcass.
It is the stuffed corpse of my cat, Uncle Baby Billy / Kitty Big Balls, that Rob so kindly got taxidermied for me.
It's a hobby.
Yeah, I wasn't going to tell him you did it. But
everybody's got to have a side gig, you know what I mean?
You did a good job.
Mine's skinning dead animals.
So that's us. That is us, Rob. The NWO here to take over the afternoon show. Me, you, and the bad guy right here. Kitty Big Balls.
Well, the good news is I don't think I have the stamina for this to go more than $1 grand.
We'll see how this works out. When the new morning show gets here, it won't be that bad. We'll only have to do one show a day.
Okay.
Here, let me fix your ear, Kitty. This is that helmet. You did not like that, did you?
I'm gonna have to re-snuff that thing.
Yeah. Well, guys. It's good to be here. We do a little show from 6 to 10 a.m. every day called The Morning Huddle. We hope you'll like what you hear today.
In fact, you can listen to it even if you don't get up that early.
Yeah. But then it'll be. I guess technically, you could listen to it on your drive home.
In fact, you could. On the way home today. In fact, I ran into a dude on Saturday. He drives for I'm going to give him a plug. He was an Orkin man.
Okay.
I met him he goes, hey, huge fan, both shows. all-day listener.
And did you ask him, like, yeah, but which one? That's what I always do. If someone says huge fan both shows, I say,
he knew
yeah,
who I was,
but
so
which
he knew.
one?
He knew. He came up. Of course, he's going to say us first.
Okay.
So he's like, "Hey, you Rob?"
And you
Yeah,
think
man.
if he had met Joe Reinigle, he would have said,
we're not even on the same plateau as Mr. Joe Reinigle.
oh, really?
Oh, you've been out and about with him. With that, there's us fame, then there's Joe Reinigle fame.
Yeah.
And then there's his hair. And
Right.
it's kind of in that order. His hair has his own Twitter page.
Yeah. James, when you James Pledger is producing our little show today.
James.
How's it going, James?
What's happening, guys?
I am very this is feeling very familiar.
Yeah.
Now, James, when people talk to you about the station, do they ever talk to you about the station? Does anybody ever?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And do they always tell you that they prefer the afternoon show to the morning show?
They prefer my show.
Oh,
See-
they like extra. Oh, so now I know people
See?
lie straight to our faces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You forget that there's three of us, and he closes out. I mean, he's the closer.
I forgot that
He's the one that
forgot
comes
that
in
show
and
even
throws the
exists.
104-mile-an-hour pitches. For
Now, when I first got here, Pledge would
Oh,
call me
smoke.
once. He would call me once a week to be on that show,
I enjoyed that.
and then now,
yeah, that was a lot of fun. Whatever happened?
now he never calls me. He
I
just
don't know.
like,
I guess I failed at that too.
yeah, he didn't need my
I was
help.
normally into my third Mai Tai by then.
That was why I loved it so much.
Yeah, he was like, no, I don't need you around.
He's like, I'm sitting in the pool here, Mai Tai in hand. Let's talk some Spurs.
What a life! What a life! Listen, a lot going on today, including there's some things that we didn't even know were going on at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
when our program ended. In fact, we knew at 10 a.m. that Jalen Ramsey was traded from the Miami Dolphins to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We didn't know what compensation was. Turns out,
A rather unexpected name.
a rather unexpected name. Minkah Fitzpatrick is the guy going back.
I kind of felt like he was a Steeler for life.
I did
That
too.
He was kind of down for the tribe.
I did too. So listen, that's the luxury that the afternoon show has is,
Breaking news.
yeah, they always find
Well, guess
things
what?
out.
We get it today because in but 2 hours, the avalanche of NBA signings should begin.
Yeah.
I figured there'll probably be, what do you figure, $500 million? You figure $500 million today? More than that.
Yeah. That's probably I mean, who knows? You know what? Let's just say $500 million. That sounds like a
$500
good
million?
number.
How many M's is that?
That's
I have to call Aaron that.
that's 500,000 M's.
That's 500. If we could have 500,000 M's just passed tonight.
500,000 M's. Yeah, he says it like that. It's
Dude,
just 500,000 M's.
That reference was for the morning show.
That's right. We're also getting the M's for working extra today.
Oh,
We're getting,
big bucks.
and by M's I mean McDonald's. That's what.
Did the suit say he'd bring something in?
No, I
We haven't
I
guilted
didn't
him
have
yet.
to go get some because I stayed here.
How was the camp out?
I was fine by me. I mean, you'd think that the people around here would.
Did they smell the campfire and the
I
s'mores?
don't know. I wish they you'd think people in the hallways would keep it down a little, knowing the talent was.
So James, I get
Resting?
this morning. I'm down at one end of the hall making my bagel, and I turn the corner, and I see AJ walking in with his backpack, holding a pillow and a couple of cushions. I was like, well, she gave you 2 weeks. I mean, it had been a minute since y'all have been together. I'm surprised she hadn't thrown you out sooner.
Yeah, I didn't want to drive home and drive all the way back, and
He wanted to maximize his sleep.
I wanted to maximize my sleep time. So I brought a little mat and I brought my pillow. But unfortunately, the people around here don't respect
You would have
that
thought.
the talent is resting.
I know. You got Nick right next to you with the morning huddle blaring on his computer.
Well, yeah, and I'm like, well,
it's not
it's a great
us.
show. Don't
it's
get me
not
wrong.
us. It's all the Tejano. They jam, man. They turn it up.
That is true. That is true. But yeah, no one kept it down. No one was worried about the fact that.
Did you have a sign?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
to be fair,
Talent sleeping.
y'all also weren't worried about anything because as you apparently left to go get lunch, you were unaware of the person working here that doesn't leave to go get lunch ever or consider him at all.
Who are we talking about?
Who? You?
Oh, yeah.
But you have plenty
You don't
of time to eat on your way in, dude.
Yeah. When do you get here?
You saw me this morning?
Oh, I know, but I don't usually see you in the
we
morning.
don't see you like this.
I get here like 15 minutes after y'all leave.
Oh, well, I mean,
Well, there's time to eat.
yeah. Edwin brings a lunch, packs a lunch. Why don't you?
Well, he packed a lunch.
And I got bagels.
Why don't you pack a lunchbox?
And you're welcome to any bagel stacked in my office.
I was
no matter the age.
unaware that radio was basically kindergarten.
It is.
Were you
I mean,
bringing a
what are you
lunch? Were
talking
you bringing
about?
a mat to sleep on?
Yes, and nap time's just
Yeah.
about to start.
Yeah.
So I get really fussy if I don't keep to my schedule. So
I'm just wondering when recess.
I'm going to
is.
need a juice box and a cookie and a nice.
Now he thinks it's
Soft
kindergarten,
corner.
but he's like, oh, he's looking down like it being kindergarten, but he wants us to bring him lunch like we're his mommy. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
James is a stray cat.
Clearly, he's like, you guys didn't even think about me.
Yeah, you feed him and he'll keep coming back.
Jeez. No, Jen is. He says James is privileged. He's used to Jason and Joe bringing him barbecue sandwiches,
Oh, that's right.
That is true.
I had forgotten about Jason's penchant. For,
and we do have a stuffed animal for show and tell. Says Nick, reminding
Yes.
us that
Pay
this is
attention to our
show and tell.
our big old cat.
Who else? Adrian says, AJ, do you shop at the Blanco HEB? I thought I saw you there. Now, I used to. I've got a new HEB now, but I did used to shop at the Blanco HEB. That was
You
by
went
my
moving
apartment.
on up.
I've got a new HEB, a fancy HEB. It's very fancy.
Oh.
It's in the rolling hills.
It's very, very
Yeah,
fancy.
yeah,
When
yeah.
you walk in, you have to. You can't just wear like your regular clothes. Everyone dresses in a suit, and they have a top hat and a monocle and a cane. I walk in looking like Mr. Peanut is what I walk at my HEB now. That's what it looks like when I go in there.
It was a fancy HEB that I didn't expect to be fancy. The
What,
one
the
at the
one down on Broadway?
Avalon.
Oh, the Avalon. Well, there's a reason for that.
Where's the Avalon?
The Avalon one is over off of. Is that
Northwest Military
yeah,
and I forget the cross street.
it's about the neighborhood it's in.
What's the neighborhood it is in?
We'll talk about it.
Oh,
I don't want to. I would say something that would be in the best of possibilities, but I don't want to say
They
it
give you
wrong.
drinks at that one.
Yeah, it's a crazy. It's a beautiful. It's
Is
one,
it in
It's one of the shining stars.
is it a gay neighborhood?
No, that's not it.
Oh, I was gonna say they always get the best stuff.
That would be the HEB that they call the Gucci B, which is the one on Broadway, which is really the OG one. It used to be the one I shopped at.
The
a long
Central
time.
Market?
Yeah, well, it's the very first Central Market.
Okay.
It's the first one down on Broadway, down in the bottom of the Heights.
That's a nice. That's a nice spot. I go
That
there
used
for Hatch chili season.
Yeah, that used to be the one that legend had it that Mr. Butt and the family would shop when they were in town.
Oh,
When they would exit the arsenal.
and now it's just Mr. Butt shops there, is what you're
Oh,
saying.
yeah, there's just a man. I think they're in the top 5 wealthiest Texas families.
The Butts.
Yes.
That doesn't surprise me. They should be.
I'm never not gonna laugh, even though I know when somebody says Mr. Butt.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Well.
mean, that's what we all know.
I would take that last and a lot of other names for
They
that
said
kind of
it's
money.
it's the Alon market, not the Avalon market. That's what everybody's correcting.
Yeah, it's
you,
the
James. The Alon.
Yeah.
That's right.
The Alon.
There's a great bar in there.
Yeah, it says you can drink beer while you're shopping. That's
No, I'm talking
nice.
about in that little shopping center.
Oh, okay.
There's an El Mirasol in there
I
too.
thought
Yeah.
I
Oh,
thought
that's
you were
right.
I
There
thought you were
is.
going to say it was the gay HEB because
Is there one?
there's got
I guess it would be that one.
what's the big gay neighborhood in
Well,
town?
there's not just we don't have like a Montrose in San Antonio.
I'm
We have a little small district. I guess the one down on the district is down on Main, right in that vicinity, and there's an HEB on Blanco.
The nicest Whole Foods I've ever been in is in Chicago, right by Wrigley Field. It's in the gay neighborhood. Like the Whole Foods it's written out in rainbow flag colors. And I went in, I was like, oh my, this is like mega Whole Foods. Like they had everything.
I can't imagine how much that thing costs.
Oh,
that place.
Man, that was the spot.
What do they call that? Whole paychecks.
Yeah, that's a nice grocery store.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking,
Don't-
around the ballpark, maybe there, but no, like that's one of those ones where everything's painted. You can tell what's going on in that neighborhood. Now, I didn't know before I got my Airbnb there then I was walking around. Of course, I was walking around with my wife. I had this big opportunity to go gay, and I missed out on it by bringing my wife along on that trip.
That was a big chance.
Gives
for you.
around the ballpark a whole new meaning, huh?
A lot of guys like what they see with me, Rob.
I didn't say that was not the case.
I'm what's known in the community as a bear. I don't know if you're aware of that, but those of you on the Brigade Bar may see my chest hair. I'm of a certain type that a lot of dudes find
A really old twink.
very attractive. Very attractive. I'm very popular in the gay communty. All right.
You are.
Looks like we've got a
I've
guest
seen your
lined
number
up
in the
for
bathroom.
today. Yeah. We've got a guest lined up today. We normally don't have guests on the morning show because nobody wants to wake up and talk to us.
No, we wouldn't inflict that on them either.
RJ Marquez. Or is Marquez or Marquez? How do I say it?
I think either way would be. I don't think he'd be upset with it.
Okay. Of KSAT 12 is going to join us to discuss Texas State to the Pac-12. We'll do that coming up at 4:30.
Cool.
We've got some giveaways as well. It is a Mellow Mushroom Monday right here.
Another thing that I'm going to have to get accustomed to. Now, you and I both served.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you paid attention to a military clock? Do we always have military? Because we're in the morning. I can't tell.
Oh,
yeah, I guess
I looked
it
up
is.
and I was like, 1,400. So in about 10 hours, we're going to have. When do we have Marquez? 10 hours, right?
Yeah, that'll be at
It's
1600
now.
1630.
So we're
It'll
having
be
them at 430
no,
hours. So
no,
that's
just
10,
Pledge didn't write it out in military time like I asked him to.
14 to 17.
You'll hear RJ Marquez at 1630.
That's like what, 12 hours from now?
No, it's only 2 hours and 13 minutes from now. Which reminds me, I'm clearly already over for my first break. Which this is.
All right.
Welcome to the morning show in the afternoon. That's how we do it, baby. We blow right through breaks, and then I just regret it later on. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nigel, why does our office look like a casino?
I call it employee engagement.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to hit the jackpot on comfort with Quarter Moon's Lucky 7's AC tune-up. It's just $77 for a complete 7-point inspection.
Excuse me, bossman. I've got a good feeling about that slot machine next to your desk. Joel, I couldn't get an advance on next week's check, could I?
Call Quarter Moon Plumbing, AC and Heating for your Lucky 7's AC tune-up. Just $77. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074EM16004.
Happy birthday, America! Mr. W Fireworks has been your family-owned and operated fireworks provider since 1963. We are proud to guarantee the lowest prices on fireworks around. And the biggest selection, too. That's right. Here at Mr. W Fireworks, we have the lowest prices on fireworks in the area and with the biggest selection to choose from. At Mr. W Fireworks, we have been doing this a long time. We never charge any hidden fees, and we pass our savings down to the customer. Find our location near you at MrWFireworks.com.
Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million. Pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
At Natural Bridge Caverns, the passage of time and moving water have carved out a massive underground creation. Hidden Wonders, our newest cave tour. Watch thousands of lights reveal otherworldly sculptures in a massive canyon with a sound and light show finale. Or visit the largest of our 2 caverns with a discovery tour, winding through majestic rooms with incredible formations. Above ground, top off your adventure with a zip along the sky rails on our towering ropes course. Choose your adventure at naturalbridgecaverns.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is on now. Get a king bed for a queen site for details.
Lowe's knows how to set off your July 4th with savings. Right now, buy one, get one free on select one-coat coverage interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for just $10. Hurry, these July 4th deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for more details.
Being arrested isn't just a setback. It's a nightmare that can destroy your life and reputation. At Barton & Associates, we're here to make sure your one bad night doesn't turn into a lifetime of regret. Contact Barton & Associates today at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Sam, I'm not perfect, Sam. I say every day. Listen, first of all,
you got to preface this.
My show in Houston that I did for 11 years was called The Blitz. So when I came here, it was hard for me to say the morning huddle because I'm so used to saying it's The Blitz. Then I had to retrain myself. I was like, the suits had me. Have you ever seen Clockwork Orange where they have his eyes peeled open? Yeah. They're like, I was watching all this horrific stuff, all this bloody stuff, and it was making me real crazy, and it was reminding me not to say the Blitz. And then finally, I got my mind trained to say the morning huddle. So even now, at 14:23 in the afternoon, I still said the morning huddle. So I made a mistake. I apologize.
I think we can fix this.
By how?
I mean, there's someone here that people are clamoring to bring the show in.
Oh.
Are you talking about the cat?
No.
Them too.
Oh, I mean, we can do that from now on. Kitty, do you like when I say the Blitz or the morning huddle? Oh, you don't have a preference? You're just glad that Jason Minix isn't here because he's a bully. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. He's a bad person. A bad person. That's all right. That is all right.
He doesn't know.
No, I mean,
AJ doesn't know.
He has no clue.
Yeah.
About who to introduce the show?
No, I kind of had a tag coming in for a long time.
Oh, you used to have one.
Yeah, kind of a.
You want to play that?
No. That's long.
Yes.
That's old school?
No, it's just something I used to bring the show in a way, and there people were asking about. They wanted me to do it.
Well, I think we should then. If the people want this, Rob, what are we if not a show of the people?
Yeah, maybe later. Hang on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we want people to stick
maybe
around.
Later in the show. I mean, you might as well. We'll tease it forward.
We want people to stick around. We want people to stick around. Yeah.
I finished quick in a lot of things, but this.
So the Steelers who send Minkah Fitzpatrick out for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith to Miami, apparently not totally done. As now, remember.
On what side? Who's the concern with?
The Steelers maybe not done with all their trading because.
Oh, okay. So there might be more to come.
And when I say more, I mean their best player.
Aaron?
No, TJ Watt. I know he doesn't have an MVP trophy like Aaron. I know, he's not a Super Bowl champ like Aaron.
There is no way in hell they're going to trade TJ Watt.
In recent weeks, multiple teams have discussed whether or not they can trade for Pittsburgh Steelers pass rusher TJ Watt, who skipped the team's most recent minicamp, according to Adam Schefter. The Steelers have not shown any willingness so far, but obviously being unhappy with the contractual situation. sources believe outside that team interest is likely to increase because it's clear that
yeah. Can you imagine a world? I guess if Luka can be traded, anybody can. And maybe we looked at it the same way with Micah, where it might, for a minute, felt like it was possible, if not probable.
Mm-hmm.
But talk about a man and a team meant to be together. I just can't imagine a scenario where that would come to pass.
Well, and I think TJ agrees. I bet he would love to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. He just doesn't want to do it for $28 million a year.
Oh no, I think that eventually the Steelers will pay.
Yeah, Myles Garrett gets $40 million a year, and TJ Watt says, "Pardon."
He has every right to. If he's asking or letting it known, I don't blame him one bit. But a pox on your house if you let me go. I mean, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Especially after they signed Aaron. I mean, I don't care how much you're paying him. It didn't affect the TJ Watt deal, but you chose Aaron Rodgers to pay first and you wouldn't pay me?
Well, on top of that, they just took on the majority of Jalen Ramsey's contract.
Which he's still okay. I'm not worried about his performance.
But what
I'm more surprised is there something else going on, because I thought Minka was a Steeler for life too. So maybe there's something more going on inside this boat than we know.
I think that's quite possible. But what I'm saying is, if I'm Jalen Ramsey, I'm looking at, or if I'm TJ Watt, I'm looking at Jalen Ramsey coming on board, and he's going to get, $26.6 million this year, and the Dolphins are only paying $3 million of it. So that's $23.6 they just gave him, and he's like,
well, there's a long time between now and the camp. I think this is some rattling swords. I mean, seriously, can you imagine a world that Mike Tomlin goes into the season having recently traded for Ramsey, they're paying a wide receiver all this money. They bring in a quarterback that they're paying a pittance, but they're still paying him, and they let TJ,
just a few M's.
Just a few, and let TJ leave. Like I said, if Luka can be traded, I won't put anything out there as anything more than just improbable. But my gosh,
I won't be surprised.
Do you think injuries might play into this? Because there has been. I mean, he hasn't been consistently there.
I think the Steelers, for the first time, are realizing they can't win with this roster.
Well,
this is not a.
I got to sell a ticket.
The Steelers are going to sell tickets, Rob. Come on.
They don't know. They don't know poverty.
This ain't the Raiders or this ain't the Saints.
Well, there is a loyalty. I'll give them that. But the Pittsburgh, they don't know poverty. They know mediocrity. I mean, they've always had a half-assed chance up until the last game. I don't know how long Steeler fan would put up with it, with this small family-run attitude.
Well, at some point you got to rebuild.
I agree with that, but you can rebuild with one of your all-time greats, the dude that's going to put on a gold jacket now.
He's 31.
Cowboys let number 94 go, so I do get it if you feel like there's not a chance. But you don't go sign Aaron Rodgers and bring in the chaos if you're abandoning ship, do you?
I mean, you said it. You got to sell tickets. You got to at least pretend like you've got something that you're trying to do. But
all right.
Because maybe they did that knowing that TJ Watt wasn't going to be a part of this.
If I wouldn't have put it past Jerry to trade Micah. He's done it, like I said. I'm looking at 94's jersey. I've seen him do it before, but it was more like, go forth and be free, young fella. I'm sorry for what I did to you. I still think that in their heart of hearts, that the Steelers feel like we're just a couple players away. This defense
they can't possibly feel that way.
Well, I think they do. I think the defense is Super Bowl worthy. They feel comfortable that that's always going to be okay. We're going to go get Aaron Rodgers. We're going to pay ourselves a wide receiver. We're going to draft a running back. What the hell? We got a shot. At least we're in the playoffs, and that's about all we can ask for. But that's all they've really chased.
Yeah, I think that the realization that you can't win in this league without a top-level quarterback is becoming more and more true every year.
No doubt about that.
And the Steelers, even by even shuffling around Justin Fields and Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, none of them are Super Bowl caliber quarterbacks. But they know.
But I think they will admit to you that, but they are acting like they've got another run. If this was truly their belief, Aaron wouldn't be here. They'd be playing little hands. They'd be playing somebody that had been in a building before. I just think that they feel like there's one last run, which tells me TJ Watt sees this. He's the face of the franchise. He's the golden boy. He's the program setter. There's a long time between now and then. He'll get the cash. Can you imagine that the Steeler fans would have to look to Cleveland to see they paid the guy the right amount of money, and we let our guy go? Oh.
Yeah. Now, remember Cam Hayward, the other kind of leader on that defensive team.
He had some issues with the team's direction.
He wasn't, at least before Aaron Rodgers was signed, he initially said, hey, we don't need this guy. And then once he got there, of course, he was like, oh, yeah, we're glad to have him. But I think there's a lot of guys on the defensive side of the ball who look at it and go, that's what you're doing for us?
Seriously. I do get that. But I don't think this isn't Chicago 85 Bears, but I think that's not uncommon if you're on one side of the ball and you see them spending money over there and you're going, for that? I know what that is.
But also,
trust me, we know what that is.
I mean, if you can get a couple first-round picks for T.J. Watt.
I think they better, if they do trade him, it better be one of those franchise-altering at least one or two number ones and some deep picks and a little bit of talent, because we're talking about that kind of money. So, yeah, I would expect them to completely pivot on that. But, my goodness, that is not the way this franchise works.
It's not historically, but also they are kind of stuck in neutral.
Truth. I mean, 8 years of mediocrity.
When you're stuck in neutral, the way to change things up sometimes is uncomfortable.
I'm unfamiliar with that as a Cowboy fan. It's always been easy, comfortable.
Yeah, and
smooth.
I mean, Steelers fan was spoiled. They had it good for a long time.
Yes, and it's because of that diligence. Like, we're not ever going to tank. We're just going to reload and build in other directions and have at least one side of the ball pretty consistent all the time. That has
it just doesn't work that way.
And I think the Russell thing hastened it, man. They swung and missed.
Yep.
And now they're having to make do with an error.
Because I think now, if you're going to be really strong on one side of the ball, the preference is offense. And if
in this league,
and if it is defense, you got to at least be above average, serviceable on offense. And the Steelers offensively are a joke. I mean, there's the 85 Bears couldn't carry this offense.
How big a difference could he make to a contending defense?
DJ Watt?
You think that he'd be worth a playoff win? I mean, if you saw a possible playoff win we just add this guy to our defense.
Yeah.
I mean, you can drive a pretty hard bargain.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they would take calls, but I certainly wouldn't trade him to a near enemy. He certainly wouldn't stay in the AFC North. Anybody I'm playing. So that kind of limits. I'm not going to let him go to a team that I have to deal with.
The Steelers are never going to trade him to Baltimore.
No, or anything like that. So you think
Trey Hendrickson, the Bengals don't want to pay Trey Hendrickson. They're damn sure not going to pay T.J. Watt. And the Browns already have Myles Garrett. So you can let's just call it a day, trade him to Buffalo.
Let's think about the teams that could go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That guy now for a little bit later, I'm in. So I do think, at the very least, Watt has done the right thing for himself, because his value will grow as the offseason goes. And if it's typical of the owners who don't care, Jerry at least doesn't, he will be easily the highest paid and could command just a bounty of picks and players if, in fact, they back the Steelers into a hole. But I just can't imagine that happening.
The idea that a lot of these teams are chasing him is not surprising. The odds for T.J. Watt's next team, this is according to betonline.ag, his next team, if it is not the Pittsburgh Steelers, your favorite at 3-1. This is a terrifying thought, by the way, and this would
Chiefs.
This would make you sick if you're a Cowboys fan. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, they do have a lot, man. They got a stock tank.
4-1, the San Francisco 49ers.
See, these are the teams that I'm thinking about. So if I'm one of those upper echelon teams that has just a little bit of question.
Lions 6-1.
Yep.
Patriots 7-1.
Now they have to really take stock, but maybe.
Seahawks 9-1.
Nah, why?
Arizona 10-1.
Why?
Jets 11-1.
Why?
God, if I'm T.J. Watt, I'd rather jump off the Three Rivers Bridge and
he must. If he does that, he must have drawn a funny picture of one of the Rooney family. If they banish him to Arizona,
I'd dive headfirst in the Allegheny River before I went to the Jets.
Or the Jets. They sentence you to the Jets.
Raiders 12-1.
Now, they're just crazy enough to do it.
Imagine Max Crosby and T.J. Watt, though.
Or it might cost them Max Crosby. But I can't imagine them doing that. That wouldn't happen.
Green Bay 14-1. Washington 16-1.
That's another likely candidate.
Chargers and Titans 22-1. Dallas Cowboys 25-1.
Nah.
The longest odds on the board, the Baltimore Ravens 100-1. Browns and Bengals right behind them at 75-1. And thankfully, right behind them, the Chiefs at 50-1. No one wants that.
Hey, James, what about the Texans?
45-1. Same as the Bills.
If you had to make a deal, who would you send?
I'm not making that deal.
There's nobody.
Texans have Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson. They ain't looking to
They're set.
What if I called and said Will Anderson and I'll take you to lunch? No?
Click.
Oh, really?
Right.
I don't know about that, but
just straight up and a little bit of something.
Yeah,
You're talking about a guy going into probably his last big deal versus a guy who's
He's
about
31.
to get his first.
He's 31.
He's a young 31.
Still
too.
Elite.
JJ was retiring at 31.
Think of the Watt name showing up again, man.
He would be a big deal for the Texans.
And it would just cost Will Anderson.
Nope.
And one of your running backs. And one of those offensive linemen you keep cycling through.
Jacob says, call it and trade him to the Bills. Okay, A-Rod and Watt for Josh Allen. No, I don't think that's the deal the Bills are looking to do. I think
you should do it.
I mean,
y'all are a pass rusher away.
I would jump into the river if that happened. Oh, my God.
Mass suicide.
Oh, can you even imagine?
New York.
Can you even imagine?
They all threw themselves into the hole of that brand new stadium.
They're trying to build a new stadium, and they trade away Josh Allen for Aaron Rodgers.
A giant bonfire.
Ugh.
Y'all can all do an ayahuasca trip together.
Man, let's go lick a frog, see what happens.
I'd rather have Terry Pagula's daughter, the tennis gal, playing quarterback than Aaron Rodgers.
Serve into my nuts.
That's right. just beat me about the testicles with your tennis racket if you're going to trade for Aaron Rodgers. Trade away Josh Allen for Aaron Rodgers. All right. He's a real crumb bum.
You're a real crumb bum.
That's right.
He's a bum.
All right. We have plenty more to talk about. We're going to be here all damn day. How about that? We don't get tired. We keep on going.
We've got
we are soldiers here.
300 hours.
Yeah, the morning show. There's employees and there's workers. Rob and I are workers. We're not just here to collect a check. You know, we are here to work.
I work as hard as the next government employee.
That's right. We are workhorses.
I just want to continue to ask Rob questions about what time it is.
I can't. I'm fixated by it.
Well,
I keep having to subtract, and it's driving me crazy. But I was told there'd be no math.
Sam says, pull a Minix and take a 5-hour. I've never seen Minix with any hour energy. Like he's.
Are you kidding? Oh, dude, mainlines it.
Yeah, but it never ups him. He's always just the same.
You should see him without it.
Even keel. He's a corpse without it, I would guess. He and Kitty Big Balls have the same energy without it.
What, like moss grows
Poor
on his
Kitty.
back?
Poor Kitty. All right, we'll be right back. It's the Morning Huddle 94. Nope, just kidding. It's the Blitz. It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle. Free agency's begun. We'll keep you updated on all the latest moves.
And football offseason in full effect. Trades happening yesterday. What happens today? We'll talk about it. Morning Huddle. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can also text bail to 474747 or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or online, mybestbailbonds.com.
In the 80s, everyone was breaking. Break dancing, that is. Lots of moves, spins, flashy colors, and a whole lot of cardboard. Breaking in the 80s was good, but breaking now, not so good. That's why Dave Ramsey recommends Connecticut water softeners in San Antonio and the Hill Country. Seems like many brands of water softeners these days have flashy lights, sounds, and moving parts. Bad news, all those parts are more likely to break and break and break again. With Connecticut water softeners, there are fewer moving parts, and a Connecticut only runs on kinetic energy and is up to 80% more efficient than other competing models. A Connecticut was built to work, not break. That's why a Connecticut was backed by an outstanding 10-year warranty, and right now receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with a trade-in of any water softener, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. With a Connecticut, you'll have water soft as parachute pants on the dance floor.
ConnecticutSA.com. License number 38961.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com. It's Jason and Joe from the Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend.
The Blitz will be live at Circa August 21st and 22nd, and then we're staying for the weekend. Come to Vegas with us for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor and Circa Million are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. So join the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas.
Details and discounted rooms with promo code BLITZ available online at sasportstar.com.
When it comes to keeping your pumps running smooth, L&S Pump Repair has you covered. 24/7 on-site service for saltwater disposal and pump repairs. From Quintaplex to H-Pumps, they've got parts ready and the skills to get you back in the game fast. Need a whole new pump package? L&S builds custom skid packages too. Don't let knocking pumps or slow flow slow you down. Call L&S Pump Repair 936-853-3810. Keep your flow strong, San Antonio.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. This Tuesday, first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
14:45 here on the Blitz.
I'm either really early or really late.
James, I was curious. What's the latest with you, man? How's the car? What's going on? We haven't got an update from you in a while.
Yeah.
You were rear-ended violently.
Yeah. Not in the fun way.
With malice.
Right. Now, do you have a lawsuit pending?
I do not.
Have you spoken to a litigator?
I have
He's
at
not hurt.
least placed a phone call to one.
Okay.
They asked if I was hurt. I said no. They said, let me know if that changes.
Oh, that would change. Okay. All right. And how's your show been going?
It's been good.
Okay. I'm curious, when do you sleep?
Right now.
Because you're always up, like, at the beginning of our show even.
Yeah, I'm working out.
Okay. And then what, like, do you go to bed extra early, or, like, what's your...
No, I get home probably about 10 o'clock.
And then you go to bed at 10?
Wind down as fast as possible.
Okay. How's your love life?
That silence is painful.
Oh, it's not that good?
He doesn't talk about his private.
Oh, it's that.
Well, there might be.
What do you think
there
is?
might be a lot of people listening.
What do you think the holdback
you don't
is?
wanna tip your hand.
Is it your schedule?
Yeah,
or
it's
okay,
absolutely
it's nothing to do with your personality. You're saying?
No, I mean my personality is big. It's a lot for some people.
Bigger than other parts of you. That's problematic.
See what you did there?
Okay. All right. So no prospects on the horizon.
Oh
Nothing?
yeah, I'm talking.
You are you on the apps?
Oh no.
No.
I don't believe in the apps.
Really?
I don't.
You trust your game is what you're saying.
I trust myself out in public.
I tried to get Edwin, who sometimes works with us on the morning show. I tried to get him on the apps, and he refuses to do it. I think I won't
comment.
As someone who was married before the invention of the apps, I always want to see how someone goes from the start of the apps to finding love. I want to be a connector of people. That's what I like to do. And so I'm disappointed that Edwin told me no.
Oh.
He does not want it. He's got no interest in doing that. Yet the non-app life is working about as well for him as it is for you.
That's fair.
So I don't know. I think you guys you say you don't believe in the apps, but clearly the way you're doing it isn't working.
Well, sure.
I mean, just saying, maybe try and freshen up your approach. That's all.
Right.
Like actually not being here.
Yeah. Well, that helps.
Yeah, that might help as well. I didn't know this. Rin says the station's been trying to get James married for the whole time I've been listening, like 8 years it seems like. Listen, I'm not looking. I don't think Pledger should get married. I just think he should.
Well, I'm having fun.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to comment, but don't worry about James.
There's no love life, but there's plenty of love.
I was going to say I don't want to get into anything, but don't worry about James.
Okay. So you're only into casual sex, or are you paying for it?
We all pay for it.
That's why he's always like, "Can you bring me some lunch?" He's spending all his lunch money on hookers. That's the.
That's illegal in Texas, AJ.
A lot of things are illegal here, and yet people still partake.
See, that's my 3 trips to Amsterdam a year.
That's in the back of the plane.
It's a write-off.
The back of the plane.
Why are you going back to Amsterdam?
I mean, just seeing.
It's a beautiful, beautiful country.
An old friend. You really like the food there.
Great food.
That's right. And the off-Broadway. Off
Broadway.
Yeah, the off red light district shows are all.
I hear they'll just put them in the windows.
Yeah, just there for business.
Always something to be seen. All right. Well, if things change and you want to get on the apps, let me know. I do want to see how this process works out. You
could get on the apps.
No, I can't get on the apps. No way. I'm locked in. My
I
wife.
mean, this is more of a social experiment than anything.
No,
right?
no. My wife would not be okay with that.
What's that? What's the site that actually somebody hacked.
Ashley Madison.
Ashley Madison.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if that didn't scare any married dude or woman off.
I'll never, ever be on an app
divorce.
with that thing. No friggin' way.
The Iranians are just going to dump everybody's name.
Yeah.
That's going to be their get back. No, we're not going to bomb you. We're going to out every one of you by Ashley Madison.
We were talking about this during the break. The Jazz they finalized a buyout with Jordan Clarkson.
That's
according to Shams.
He's going to be a good get. Whoever gets him will be very happy.
It says he will target contending clubs for his new home, and interest from multiple playoff teams is already expected.
Solid six-man, gets the pace of the game, San Antonio's own.
He's kind of the last connection between – he's the last guy that was around when the Jazz were good.
So when he was six-man, and he's going to be a good get. That's been it's time for him to leave.
Johnny Juzang also waived by the Jazz.
Yeah.
It seems like nobody's knocking on the door for Johnny Juzang. He's probably retired. Although he is
Johnny's a baller. He's just not. I don't think he's an NBA
guy. 38% 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can make a lot of money.
Worse things than that.
Not in the league.
The Jazz did get Ace Bailey into town finally, which you can
blessed.
You can write it down wherever. Get your notebook out and write this down. Ace Bailey's a loser. He is going to be a bust.
He's blessed, man.
He is blessed to be a bust. That's what he's going to say.
Man, he's just grinding. That's all he cares about.
And that's what he's going to say at the end when it's all over. He's like, you know what? I've just been blessed with this journey.
I'm just blessed.
It was never about winning championships. It was all about my journey.
Getting paid
and doing what's best. My team understands what I'm here for, and it's all about following my path. Which means just getting some money and
getting me the hell out of these mountains.
Getting the hell out of Utah. Getting away from all these white folks.
Well, there's a lot of Mormons up here.
That's right.
A lot of blonde-haired girls, though.
You get away from this lake, too. It's like, ugh. And they don't want you drinking beer. It's like the big frowned up. Everything's frowned upon.
Have to go hang with Dwayne.
Ugh. Boring. Going out for drinks with Danny Ainge, and they're bringing us like
the
sody pops.
Can you go out for drinks?
You can do for sody pops.
There's a great bar just across the street from the stadium where the bar's iced over. One of the best bars I've been to. But if you'll look at his roster, there's a potential to have a lot of fun. They've got a good young core. And it's going to look like it could be a fun brand of basketball.
But it does kind of feel like the guy
kind of figure it out. Will Hardy, I think, is a genius. I think he's going to coach them well. It's just you have to do it in Salt Lake.
I think the problem is for him, and the reason why he didn't want to be in Utah is they already have a guy who does all the things that he wants to do. And until Lauri Markkanen gets traded.
But Lauri's imminent to exit. And I think once they convince him that, dude, he might be here a year. He ain't our future. He ain't.
Yeah.
So he's right. If I was a kid, I'd be upset too. Like, hey, man, the highest paid player on the team's the guy playing my position. What's going to happen here? But we know that they're already shopping him, have been for a minute. So I think once push comes to shove, and I imagine the way he's been acting.
They're doing the Bulls thing and selling low.
Oh, yeah, he'll sell low the moment that they'll trade him the moment he rolls an ankle or something like that. But I do think after watching the Petulant Child act that it will hasten any kind of move to make him happier. Like, man, okay, we got to get rid of Lowry now, man, because this guy's already upset.
Christopher says Ace has a chance to be a good player. I think this is the same Christopher that says that. Are you the same guy on our show who says that Derek Harper's a loser because he couldn't win any games? And now you're saying Ace has a chance to be a good player?
Ace has a chance to be a great player. Ace is the reason why
Rutgers stinks.
Ace has a chance to be a great player.
He didn't want to play his role.
But no, let's not take away from the skill set. Now,
it's incredible.
My worry is neck up.
He's a loser.
He's got all the skills. He's got everything you need to be a really, really solid. He's closer to Kevin Durant than our guy.
Yeah, so but he's a real crumb bum.
But, yeah, there's neck up issues that he's going to have to prove that he can get through. And right now, it's going to be a fun watch through this summer league, see how this guy acts.
Yeah, when he was like, when they were knocking him for taking so many bad shots in college, he's like, well, to you, maybe it's a bad shot, but for me, those are the shots I practice. The shots that other people think are bad shots. That's the shots that I try
told my coach that one time too.
How'd that work out for you?
Grab some wood, bub.
It didn't get you drafted in the top 5?
It did not, and I held out. And I said, I'm not going to Salt Lake either. And then no one drafted me.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, I also didn't get drafted. I did enter my name in the NBA draft one year. And
it's too bad. It is going to be fun to watch. But if he is a realist and he looks at this roster, there is a potential down the road to have some fun. And it's unfortunate that he acted this way and they tried to manipulate something that is very difficult at best to do. And you have to be the number one overall guy to really make an impact.
Wow. Hey, James, how's it work around here? What's our out time at the top of the hour? I usually get out at 54:50, but you tell me when. I'm not really sure.
Between 54 and 57.
It's not hard outs here at the top of the hour?
What's a hard out?
You fancy afternoon sucks.
You know,
fancy get to play with the clock like it's just willy-nilly.
I mean, it's jump rope.
Wow.
All right.
It's very fluid. It moves.
All right. Well, I listen. I'm a real radio professional, so I like to hit the post.
Hit the post. We like hard outs.
Hard outs. I like all those things. I don't know if you know this. I'm trying to impress the suits so we can flip one of these stations to a rock station, and I can be the rock and roll DJ.
This man is in his feelings. I wonder why.
Yeah, because I'm going to be the best rock and roll DJ this town's ever seen. That's why. And people will listen from all around. You hear that? What's that morning show? Billy Madison?
No, I thought you were talking about the Godfather. The greatest ever.
Him too. What's his name?
The Godfather, Joe. The Godfather Anthony.
Joe Anthony, listen up.
Oh, you'd have to talk louder.
Joe Anthony, listen up.
I'm not sure he heard you.
Billy Madison, listen up. I'm coming for you. I'm going to be a wild, wacky rock and roll DJ.
Does he host a rock show?
I don't know. I mean, I know he competes with us
in
the mornings.
Music?
Yeah, they play music.
Oh, okay.
I think some, at least. He probably doesn't hit the post like I would. But that's the thing about me. I can do a talk show, but I can also be a rock and roll DJ.
But I get the sense that there's probably some people that might be listening right now that haven't heard us, that do have Madison somewhere locked in, and I'm saying, give us a shot.
That's all I'm saying.
I think you'll like the alternative.
Oh, the guy's dead, huh?
All I can do is tell you.
Well, I guess he's dead. That's too bad. And Sam says, no, it's more like a talk show, no music.
Yeah, I'm about to say, dude.
All right, never mind. Billy Madison, you're out. I want to, because I do want to play rock and roll music, because sometimes I like to sing. I don't know if you guys know that about me. That's a little known fact about me.
Let's let them figure that out.
I like to sing sometimes.
You don't lead with that.
All right.
It's like telling everybody you love the ukulele. Don't lead with that. We find that out organically.
1 hour down, 3 to go. It is The Blitz, starring AJ and Rob and Kitty Big Balls on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Taking you home with The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
School's out, summer's in, and that vacation countdown is officially on. But what about your four-legged MVP? Bluebonnet Bunk and Biscuit in Selma has your furry family member covered. Daycare, boarding, grooming, and training, they've got it all. They're built for your pet's health, happiness, and tail-wagging good times. If you're in the military, your teacher, or your first responder, they've got barking good exclusive discounts. So go ahead, book that trip, hit the beach, crush your summer plans. Bluebonnet Bunk and Biscuit has your pet in good hands. Because home away from home isn't just for humans. Bluebonnet Bunk and Biscuits in Selma.
Want to know the secret to getting the best price fireworks for the 4th? 2 words. Mr. W Fireworks.
We've got pre-tariff pricing. Only at Mr. W will you find fireworks at the same prices as last year.
We don't charge hidden fees. And we never hike our prices.
Just the lowest prices anywhere, guaranteed.
More fireworks for less money. It sounds good, right? Find our location at MrWFireworks.com.
The secret to getting the best priced fireworks is at Mr. W Fireworks with pre-tariff prices.
Nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Lowe's knows how to set off your July 4th with savings. Right now, buy one, get one free on select one-coat coverage interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get two select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for just $10. Hurry, these July 4th deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for more details.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
NBA free agency is upon us, and it gets underway at 5 o'clock tonight where the free agency frenzy begins. The San Antonio Spurs have tendered two-way qualifying offers to Harrison Ingram and Riley Minix, as both are now restricted free agents as of July 1st. Several names already off the table. Naz Reid and Julius Randle both re-signed extensions in Minnesota. LeBron James opted into his player option with the Lakers. James Harden staying with the Clippers on a 2-year extension, while Jabari Smith, the third overall pick of the 2022 draft, got a 5-year extension with the Houston Rockets. And Bobby Portis will re-sign to stay in Milwaukee on a 3-year deal.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
.303 on the Morning Huddle in the afternoons on the Blitz.
It's 15.
Oh, 1503. That's what I meant. 1503 on the Morning Huddle in the afternoons on the Blitz. Either way, Rob and AJ getting you through on a Monday. Somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Monday.
That's right. I do. I am big on that. Did you see that Jalen Williams? This is a real threat to the to my prediction that the Thunder are going to be a dynasty, or at least a mini dynasty. They'll at least win 2 out of 3. That's a mini dynasty, right? If you win 2 out of 3.
Yeah, well, we like to think so.
Jalen Williams is going to undergo surgery. Had a ligament tear in his right wrist. Fought through it the whole time. So while we were like, man, where's Jalen Williams? When's he going to really blow up? And then he did have that one game where he did blow up, put up a 40-burger in Game 5. But
so that eliminates any of the other. My wrist was bothering me.
Yes. So Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, you couldn't play with it. You couldn't play with a torn Achilles. Jalen Williams toughed it out. Jalen Williams toughed it out and played on his injury. Tyrese Halliburton slapped the floor and left the court never to return in the finals.
That Achilles did roll up like a Venetian blind.
I mean, a lot of people don't realize that having a ligament tear in your right wrist is basically the same as an Achilles. It's akin to an Achilles of your wrist.
Well, I'm not diminishing either.
Okay.
Seriously, was it on his shooting hand or not? He couldn't have been on his shooting hand.
It's his right wrist, so no, it would have been on his other hand. He's a lefty.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. But he did tough it out, unlike Tyrese Halliburton, who took.
Well, Tyrese played all but 3 quarters.
I mean, yeah.
He just tripped at the finish line.
Well, did he really play in Game 5 though?
I mean, he got minutes. He was a participant. He wasn't a player.
Yeah, he participated in Game 5.
in.
He made as many shots from the field as I did in Game 5. Let's just put it at that. And hey, some guys, they get hurt and they quit. Tyrese Halliburton proved to be a guy who quit when he gets hurt. Meanwhile, Jalen Williams
had to hold up the trophy with one hand.
That's right. Tough. Gilbert says Kobe hit 2 free throws and walked off the floor. That's true.
That's still one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Kobe would never let you see him hurting. He wasn't going to allow that.
Then he came back with those boxing boots as basketball shoes.
Yeah.
And we all went, those are cool.
Except they weren't.
Until we realized these are dumb.
Frank,
takes me an hour to get dressed.
Frank says not the same. It is. It's exactly the same. He did quit. He slapped he tapped out. He literally tapped the floor and said, I'm out. I'm out. He quit. Jalen Williams, meanwhile, got to the end, raised the trophy, then said, okay, now fix my wrist. But hey, some guys are tougher than others.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And that's why champions tough it out. Second place winners quit on the floor. That's all. And hey, hang the banner, Indiana. Hang the banner. Sam says not being able to walk, meh. Well, like I said, I mean, like it just got said on here, Kobe walked. Kobe didn't like lay down and throw a big fit like Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton did. These new age players are soft.
In situations like this, I wish we did handle it like the soccer does. Just have like 6 dudes run out with a hammock
and just drag them off.
No, and one dude with the cold spray, and you just blast that Achilles with the cold spray, and he'd be okay. But we just never have adopted that technology, which seems to have escaped us.
Yeah, I think it's a little different in soccer because
that cold spray fixes everything. Yeah, Trust me, I've watched soccer for a long time. You're down. These guys have been wounded beyond. And I think some of them have been shot. The way they act. And the European
athletes heal faster than us soft
spray.
Americans.
And I don't know if there's something in the cold spray that we can't use, but it seems to work internationally, and we don't even do that.
Have you ever seen Luka tear an Achilles?
No.
Have you seen Joker tear an Achilles?
See? You're proving my point.
They don't do it. Why? Because they're tough. Wimby.
Well, they're slow.
Wimby, tough. Tough. These Americans.
He can beat just about anything but thrombosis.
That's right. Well, that was a life-threatening
thrombosis.
That was a life-threatening situation. Yeah. And Wimby really he wanted to keep playing, and they told him no, you can't play anymore.
He became thrombotic, and
he was like, just chop off the arm, and they were like, no.
I still have about 8 foot of arm, even if you take this one.
Yeah,
I have more than most.
Yeah, it's going to be like when Ronnie Lott cut his finger off. He was just going to cut one arm off and keep playing with his non-thrombotic arm. He's going to be like, put me in, coach. I'm good. And
problem is you cut his wingspan in half.
That's all right. He would have been, and it still would have been like above average, right?
As you talk basketball, I don't want to throw you off. I want you to Google, and anybody who is in a place right now.
Not driving.
Hansel Emmanuel.
Is that the Chinese fellow that got drafted by?
No, it's the dude that plays at Austin Peay and is kind of a legend.
I matriculated at Austin Peay. Little known fact. That's where I did my my first couple years of schooling. He's the one-armed man.
He can play.
Yeah.
He wasn't drafted, but he did declare 4.
Okay. Well, so he's kind of like me.
Yeah.
Declared
Except
4.
a whole lot better.
He's 6'6". I'm only 6'3". I was better. I would say overall, yes, he's better than me, but I was better with my left than he was.
Yeah. You can only go one way. A lot like most of us, but I know which way he's headed.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Good for him. It would have been. I mean, he'll probably end up playing in Europe or something. You think?
He can play.
He's good.
It's really it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, these are professionals. This isn't.
But Wemby could have
trying
done
to
it.
make a living.
Wemby could have done it.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it's going to be tough.
Like, you remember Jim Abbott?
I do recall
the pitcher, Jim Abbott.
Threw a no-hitter with one hand.
That's right. I mean,
no, I'm just
don't
saying.
Don't tell me
can
what
be
people
done.
can't do.
I did not say he couldn't. It's going to be difficult.
When Jim Abbott's hand fell off, do you think he asked out of the game like Tyrese Halliburton did? No, he just kept playing, learned how to throw with his other hand. That's what a man would do. Tyrese Halliburton, soft. And that's why he's second place type of guy, not like Jalen Williams, first place championship type of guy.
I just want to know what the state of Indiana did to you.
You know what? It didn't. I don't really.
Indiana is a cornfield with lights, so let's just start there.
I saw Field of Dreams.
Indiana also, I swear to God, as soon as you cross over the border from whatever state you're going from into Indiana, there is a smell of pig feces that hits you immediately. Wherever you're coming from, it's there. So I'm not sure if there's like a bubble around Indiana that they just keep that smell in, but they've got it. I don't dislike Indiana. I really don't dislike Tyrese Halliburton. I just think that people jocked him so much during the playoff run that they forgot what he really is, which is like a pretty good player. They started treating him like he was Kobe Bryant or something when clearly.
Man-met moment. He had one of the most ridiculous runs I've ever seen.
He had a Jeremy Lin run in the playoffs is what he had. And didn't end quite the same way because Jeremy Lin didn't quit. He just, Jeremy Lin, they told him, pack your bags and leave. You're done playing. Halliburton didn't even finish his last game. Soft. Jeremy Lin tougher than Tyrese Halliburton, even if you think about it that way. NBA free agency kicks off here in what? Is that going to be at 1,700 hours, Pledger?
Very, very good.
Okay.
So we got like 200 more hours.
No, we've got 1 hour and 38 minutes.
This is
we'll see how many things pop off early on. We will also hear from R.J. Marquez of KSAT 12, going to hop on with us to discuss Texas State to the Pac-12 coming up at 4:30. Rob and I have different thoughts on this. While I do think this is great for Texas State, I have seen Texas State fan on the internets think this is a much bigger deal than it really is. Because there is no group of five anymore. You're not in the same discussion with the SEC and the Big Ten and the ACC and the Big 12. There's now a Power 4, and instead of a Power 5 and a group of 5, there's Power 4 and G6 is what it is.
There's Power 2.5.
There's Power 2.
Yeah, I mean, I was giving the Big 12
I thought you were giving Notre Dame some credit.
Well, maybe. So this is a momentous day in their history. Are they joining the Pac-12 of yore? No. But they're in a better highway now to get to where they want to go than they were before.
I generally agree with that.
If they truly want to do that. And I think that's part of this discussion. Do you really want to jump into this pool? Do you Texas State fans really want to get into this? Because once you get into it, you are all in. All in. Once you're in this, this is an Aggie talking to you who's paying a coach $75 million to go away. You're competing with that now. This is where you're going. You want to be there? You want to jump into this water? It ain't easy, brother. You want it. It's coming. It's coming.
And, it's you have to realize that sometimes when you make a jump like this, you've been spoiled by being competitive for a long time, and sometimes it's hard to compete when you take that next step up.
This is you're getting into Tyler Cotton, and if you want it, this is where you need to be. This is the step you have to take.
Well, and the problem is, think back to last year. BYU football did it. They went from going into a conference, and they competed nicely.
I don't think it'll be tough, but they're not BYU. They hope to us. Texas State is aspiring to be BYU, but it's a great move. With you're going to have to take your alumni with you, and I think UTSA fan can attest to now when you guys, everybody that's got a diploma or spent some time in San Marcos, when you guys start getting letters like, we need money.
And the problem is you'll give the money, and at the end of the day, the result will be the same. One of all the schools that are outside the Power Four, one of them will get invited to the playoff every year. And the big fight is, can you be that one? You've got an easier path to be that one now in this new Pac-12. The new Pac-12, which is essentially the Mountain West.
Yes.
Which was the Mountain West is, in my mind, Mountain West and the American have long been the best non-power college football, conferences. And now I think the Pac-12 and the American will continue to be the best non-power college football conferences. So you're at least closer to the top, but that means also you got to be better than Boise. You got to be better than San Diego State, and these programs that have
in every sport, not just football.
Yeah,
I mean this is great news, but the endowment part of this, the fundraising, and all the people that are part of that, the expectations now have gone through the roof. Everything now, dollar values have doubled, competition has tripled.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
It's good news. I mean, I'm all for it, but I just hope that the alumni know where they're going, because I still think UTSA fan doesn't quite get it.
Well, I still think I don't quite get it, because, like I said, Texas State fan on the Twitters saying, I guess Texas State and UTSA, there's a big rivalry,
Yes.
Well, Texas State now says, we don't compare ourselves to you anymore, Roadrunner. We're in the conversation with Aggie and Longhorn now. That's not the case. You're not in that conversation, and thank God you're not. By the way, because Texas State they don't aspire to be there either. Because
you don't make this move unless you do. This is what my point is. This is the first step in that direction. You're saying, okay, we're going to commit with our wherewithal, and you get a little bit of buffer zone. But I guarantee you, Oregon State and who's the other one? Washington State have a dream. And the dream is to be there be the OGs of a rebuilt and renewed Pac-12. And it's going to take 20 years to get there, and that gives them a little bit of time to grow. But I think the TV wants it. There's really no competition in the West. I know there's a lot of apathy toward college sports in the West, but it is a lot of households, and it would behoove everybody for there to be a Western football conference that is a viable one when it comes to playoff, for the TV market, for the matchups, and all that goes with it. And if it's the Pac-12, they are the most likely to be the ones to get there. Going to be a minute, but they're on the right track. They're no closer than UTSA is today.
No, they're not.
But they have a different kind of badge, and they weren't there yesterday. You know what I mean? So I think it's a huge bump for them, but there's a long way between now and even beginning to think you're Boise State.
Well, we'll discuss with RJ. Well, and even more so, beginning to think that you're
Oregon, not even
Texas or Texas A&M,
no, not even
or
close.
even Houston or Baylor or one of these. It's just there's a pretty big gap. All right, but we'll talk to RJ Marquez, KSAT 12, coming up at 4:30 about that. Get their thoughts on it as well. All right, let's hit a break. We'll be right back. Morning Huddle on the afternoon show on the Blitz. God, I'm never gonna get used to this. Though. It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
He got in a crash at about 3:45 p.m. Officers arrived. They found an unresponsive person inside a white GMC Yukon. The driver suddenly regained consciousness and tried to flee the scene, but an officer had entered the vehicle to turn it off and render aid to the driver. So there was a cop in the car with him when he's like,
that'd be me.
Damn it. He woke up and he's like, oh, man, I got to get out of here.
Dude, I'm trying to help you, brother. I thought you would slow down.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We're going to draw one name of a person that sold their car to GiveMeTheVin.com and give them $25,000.
Wow. Give Me the Vin is giving away $25,000 in cash every month.
Could you imagine being that person? Wouldn't that feel great?
That would be awesome.
Well, honey, you won.
Oh, my God.
Heather Krager of Dallas, Texas won $25,000 and Give Me the Vin's big cash giveaway.
That's so cool.
You could be next to get a little more, maybe a lot more.
I guess that old Mercedes was worth more than I thought.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to billshappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
Bills Happen is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to billshappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text BOSS to 321321. That's BOSS to 321321. BOSS to 321321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
In the 80s, everyone was breaking. Break dancing, that is. Lots of moves, spins, flashy colors, and a whole lot of cardboard. Breaking in the 80s was good, but breaking now, not so good. That's why Dave Ramsey recommends Kinetico water softeners in San Antonio and the Hill Country. Seems like many brands of water softeners these days have flashy lights, sounds, and moving parts. Bad news, all those parts are more likely to break and break and break again. With Kinetico water softeners, there are fewer moving parts, and a Kinetico only runs on kinetic energy and is up to 80% more efficient than other competing models. A Kinetico was built to work, not break. That's why a Kinetico is backed by an outstanding 10-year warranty, and right now receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with a trade-in of any water softener, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. With a Kinetico, you'll have water soft as parachute pants on the dance floor.
KineticoSA.com.
License number 38961.
The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Little band coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas. You may know them as the Toadies. Around the lake tonight. When they started, they had a lady bass player. And then she quit the band and they broke up for a long time. But then they were like, the rest of them were like, we should like hire a new bass player, and then we can like make some money again. And they did it.
Sounds like something was going on behind the scenes.
Well, listen, that's why rock and roll's a man's game.
Behind the scenes, the band was in turmoil.
Yeah. Well, the thing was the band was made up of a bunch of white men, and they didn't want to give a full wage to the lady bass player. They were like, listen, you'll work for a woman's wage.
90s? Was that a 90s?
That was
band?
in the 90s, yeah.
It was in the 90s. That wasn't such a big deal.
And like they were asking her to work longer hours and like you show up earlier, and they said we need you to clean up after the after rehearsals and make sure you bring the snacks and all that stuff. And she was like, I'm not going to do this. I quit. And they were like, a woman's work is never done, and that's why they get paid less. That's just that's a fact of life.
So then she came back and they actually made money.
Well, she was around for their one album that they had any real success with.
Oh, then she left after that.
Then she left, but now they can go out and play music.
Whoever wrote it.
Yeah, they hired a man bassist, and then they just pay someone to bring the snacks.
Seems to have worked out for them.
Yes, it was probably
been a string of hits after that.
You know what? I don't know.
I don't think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's imminent.
I would guess not. What's the Toadies' next biggest hit? Besides, maybe it's "I Come From the Water."
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
"I Come From the Water" is a great one. Tyler,
what's the one that was on Black Sheep? They on the Chris Farley movie. They had a song.
See,
you know,
exactly.
Backslider. It's called Backslider. A lot of big hits. But guess what? That lady bass player was there for all of them. She was there for all of them, and now. They're a trivia conversation.
A bump on a sports talk radio.
Black Sheep money was running out.
Yeah, they ran. They ran out when Chris Farley died. The lady bass player actually got his cut of the
sold out.
Yeah,
the royalties.
Yes, of the royalties. Sam says that sounds like a position. Backslider. That's a good.
It is one.
Yeah, that's everyone's.
I'm a starter.
Favorite position, quite frankly.
I think that's what Debo plays.
No, I don't think he means that kind of position. No. He was talking about sex. As you said, you're out on that game these days. That's all right. Hey, LeBron James. The conversation is now in full swing. LeBron James going to opt in with the Lakers, but that doesn't mean that LeBron James is going to be a Laker. We talked about this a little this morning. Where would you put the odds that LeBron James starts the season a Laker, finishes the season a Laker?
100% he starts. I can't imagine. I can't imagine something happening now. But unless the Lakers just tell him, look, dude, we signed you, know how your value is, and you are not in our plans. I just can't imagine that being the case. Now, trade deadline, 50%. It's a movable deal. The Lakers probably won't be able to do much. I think they'll realize that about halfway through. And LeBron will look for fairer pastures, and there'll be plenty to get. Plenty of teams will be calling.
What's weird is Rich Paul saying, we want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage in his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count, and that LeBron will be closely monitoring what LA does to improve the team in the offseason.
That means he has his phone with him.
Dude, they got you Luka last year.
Well, I don't think you could put it in those terms. But, yeah, they got Luka. They didn't get him Luka.
If LeBron said, guys, I want you to improve the team.
Okay, we got you Luka.
Here's Luka.
Shut up and go win a title.
And he's like, yeah, but what else?
And then Luka just kicked him right off the top of the stage. That's the thing that I find this amazing, that he is no longer the future of the Lakers. He's no longer even really the present other than as a helper. He is not the star on this team. And while – you know, the old regime and the buses, he was the man. They got a new owner. They got a whole everybody's getting a new office. They're getting new stuff on the doors and new paint jobs coming. And LeBron is just going to be another picture on the wall real soon. So you can closely monitor all you want. It's going to be new ownership and the Lakers going, how best can we equip Luka the fastest to get back to it?
Yeah.
And he might play a role in that. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but I'm just saying the expectation, this ain't Jenny Buss.
Or moving LeBron at this point could be the key to a rebuild of the Lakers around Luka. And let's face it, when I say a rebuild, any team that's got Luka is not going to be like a dog water team. They're going to be a competitive team. But being able to build a long-term roster around him is going to be key. LeBron is the piece that you have that could potentially do that. And so it would be, in a way, it could be great for them. And if you find the right trading partner, it could be great for LeBron too. Because quite frankly, the Lakers, no matter what the Lakers add this offseason, the Lakers aren't going to be in the same stratosphere as Oklahoma City. They're still going to be a ways from that. So there are teams with a much clearer path to immediate success than the Lakers where LeBron could go, namely Cleveland, where obviously he would have a built-in sort of draw. Cleveland, arguably, they were the best team in the East last year. They bring in LeBron. Now you've got a chance to make one last run. LeBron's happy. The Lakers are happy. They probably get Jarrett Allen, Darius Garland, something like that. And it's sort of a win-win for everybody, isn't it?
I would think it would certainly be poetic. It would be the nice end to it. So given all the possibilities, that would be the only one that I could see that might get done during the offseason. We've already seen that Cleveland's making deals. I mean, they just made one. But I do think they owe it to themselves to run it back. You know, I'm not sure that right now is the time they want to trade for LeBron. Maybe they see something that this team can never win, and we got to make this kind of move. And if they do, that would make the most sense. I'm trying to quantify what's a LeBron worth now. I mean, Mikal Bridges is 5 first-rounders.
It's not that.
So
it's somewhere.
Not that.
It's between Mikal Bridges and Kevin Durant.
And Durant, or is it less than Durant? Because Durant at least going to be around for a few more years, and LeBron, this could be it.
Yeah. I think who was better last year? LeBron was better than Kevin Durant last year.
Yeah, so I don't know how much value I'm going to give you because I know he's probably better all around for whatever team he lands than Durant will be. I mean, he can just do more things.
Like I said, if we were talking about with Cleveland, a package around Jarrett Allen, DeAndre Hunter, Max Strus, and a first-round pick, that seems like a way to start rebuilding your team.
I don't think the Lakers are going to be chasing draft picks. They don't care about that.
No,
that's cheap talent. But
if they can get one thrown in, they're going to.
I think that'll be part of it, like a late first rounder. But that's not what they're looking for. 5 number ones.
No, you're right. They would much prefer a guy like Jarrett Allen or Darius Garland, a guy who's actually going to make their team better now. And then if they get a draft pick with it, awesome. But their priority is going to be getting talent.
That's all. That's the good argument for the moving side. But on the staying side, I could also argue. I got a brand new owner who is renowned for spending money and doing all the things that are required to win. And if I'm LeBron, that might have been a shot like, all right, new ownership, I saw what you did with the Dodgers. I know what you do in F1. So let's do that here. Spend the money that you're known for spending, and I'll be keeping a close eye on it, my agent and I, while we listen to fine music from his girlfriend.
Yeah. Chris says, I don't see anyone trading for Braun for a year or two because he's opted in already. Well, that's the only way you can trade him.
And
he had to opt in to become a tradable piece.
And 52, in the grand scheme of things, you're going to find out is not a bad deal.
Yeah.
When we see Devin Booker signed for 70x.
Yeah.
So 52 for LeBron for a year or two. And I would seek assurances like you're going to have to be here for 2 years, Brandon. You're going to have to guarantee me.
I mean, especially if it's Cleveland, I think LeBron would want to finish his career there.
Just whatever it's got to be 2, though. It can't be 1. I don't care how bad next year is. Don't you up and leave me. I might build in some kind of pill that if you quit, you're going to owe me everything back or something close.
And you say Cleveland would have to give up like 5 players and break up their core. Don't see it. Well, they've already talked about trading Jarrett Allen and Darius Garland because they don't want to pay them. Their core, what they believe their core to be, is Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley.
I think Jarrett Allen plays a role in that. I do, but he's the third of the 3.
But if they can get LeBron instead of Jarrett Allen, Cleveland, especially from a money standpoint, Dan Gilbert will want to have LeBron there. Even if the quality of basketball were to go down, which I don't think it would, but even if their basketball quality took a dip, they would rather have LeBron James on the team than not.
You'd be giving LeBron exactly what he needs in Jarrett Allen. I mean, Luka, exactly
Yes, yeah. Luka needs a Jared Allen.
Let me tell you, a defensive dude that allows Luka to lax on defense, and a guy, a rim runner that plays in a pick and roll the way that with Luka, yikes,
and
man.
you add DeAndre Hunter in that too.
I don't like that at all.
That's another thing you're giving Luka. I mean, you're giving them a lot better defensive basketball team, which is something they need. Although, I mean, they had a guy in Anthony Davis who was a pretty good defensive player.
I think the Lakers are going to spend some money. I think that they're going to. It'd be crazy if I'm a new owner to get rid of LeBron right now. I got Luka and LeBron. I'm a brand new owner. Pieces and parts. I could be competitive, but at least I know it'll be fun. We don't have a really good sample size of how these guys can play together. And if LeBron can continue on, let's give it another year, man, and then we'll talk at the end of next season.
Christopher said, "I've seen the Spurs and Mavs could be teams interested in him." I would be shocked if either of those were true.
We got such a long, both the Spurs and the Mavs, because of their draft picks and because of the rebuild situation they're in. I just don't see LeBron wanting to, certainly in San Antonio. That's not.
I don't think either of those are like. I mean, and
now if Pop was still here, I think we might have a discussion.
What are the Mavericks going to do? Trade for LeBron so they become the?
Well, they send back Anthony Davis.
That's what I'm saying.
Nico in the long term would have turned Luka into LeBron.
Yeah, try and.
And then he gets to play with Kyrie again. There's some poetry there too.
Yeah, I don't think that happens. Pledge says Nico trades LeBron for Flag. That might be the. But what if he also got Bronny in the deal too? It'd be okay.
Well, he's the
Bronny has earned
later.
Bronny has earned it. Everybody knows that. Bronny has earned it. And JJ Redick will tell you.
What's Cleveland's farm league team? Their G League? The Cadavers? Is there space for Bronny?
I don't know. I don't know if there's enough room. All right.
That is their G League team name, right?
No.
It's not the Cadavers?
I don't think so. I mean, is that true?
It should be.
Let's see. Cleveland G League team is the Cleveland Charge.
Oh, I like Cadavers.
You're close.
Close, but not quite that. And it looks like their mascot looks like the a cross-up between Zorro and the Tampa Bay Bucks mascot.
See, there was a lot of charging in the Civil War that led to Cadavers.
If they were Cadavers, their mascot could be like a chalk outline.
Yeah, that's true. That would be good, but
Dead
no.
guy.
No, I don't think.
No?
I don't think that's a great marketing ploy for a team.
I don't know.
I mean, they could be the Cleveland Corpses.
Have you seen what the baseball team did?
But actually, the murder detectives in Cleveland were like, "Don't use that. We got our crime rate right now. It's not a great time for you to go with the Cleveland Corpses, Cleveland Cadavers."
Well, the baseball team, what are they? The security guards?
They're the Guardians. They guard the city like Batman.
Oh, I thought they just had flashlights.
You get it, like Batman. But instead it's a baseball bat.
Oh, I thought they were the security guards.
The Cleveland
Guardians.
The Cleveland Batman was trademarked. You can't use that without permission from DC. And they were like, well, you can use Guardian because he's the guardian of Gotham City.
Oh, that's what.
And
that is.
so they said, okay, well, we'll be the Cleveland Guardians, which people will eventually translate to Batman, and people will call us by nickname the Batman.
Was that the plan? It should be.
No, that should have been
harebrained enough to work.
But I don't think that's what they thought of. But me, as a marketing specialist,
it's better than the security guards.
That's what I would have come up.
That's actually genius.
There's a fine line between genius and lunacy.
It's like not all heroes do heroic things, but I do heroic things. I'm not necessarily a hero. I have genius ideas, but I don't like to consider myself a genius. I'm just a guy who's got occasional genius ideas. That's all.
I'm not a hater.
And strategies. You just crush a lot.
Is that a good?
No,
you knew that? I thought I'd made that up. How did you know the end of that?
All right. Let's wrap up the second hour of the program. It's the Blitz, starring Rob Thompson and A.J. Hoffman and the Kitty on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle. Free agency's begun. We'll keep you updated on all the latest moves.
And football offseason in full effect. Trades happening yesterday. What happens today? We'll talk about it. Morning Huddle. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-489-6985. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-489-6985 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-489-6985 to see if you qualify. That's 800-489-6985.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Fireworks are awesome, but overpaying for them? That's not so awesome.
Mr. W Fireworks, we've got the lowest prices around.
Like, lower than anyone.
No hidden fees, no crazy markups, just real savings with pre-tariff pricing. Our family has been doing this since 1963.
And the selection, it's huge. We have so many fireworks.
Go to MrWFireworks.com to find a location near you. Mr. W Fireworks, we have pre-tariff prices.
Nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Bring you in with a little Offspring on 94.1, The Morning Rock. Oh, if one day Dax gives me a chance. This is the only reason, like, when they say, hey, will you guys work an extra shift? I always say, yeah, because I want to prove to him that I can work a double shift. So I can do my rock show in the afternoons.
That you would do another genre better than the one you're currently in.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I probably won't be better at it, but I'll just be equally as good.
Is this when you were young and the future was still so bright?
No. When I was young, I was going to be the host of a television program called The Price is Right. And I was certain that when Bob Barker finally retired, my opportunity would come. But instead, culture changed, and the TV execs went away from actual real live game show hosts, and they wanted guys who were already celebrities to host game shows. Like it's not a serious genre of talent. That It does take a different kind of talent. You can't just be some geek off the streets. Got to be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
I think I've heard that before.
But like, you can't just say, Drew Carey, you're a game show host now and expect it to work. Steve Harvey, you're a game show host. Like, no, friend. Game show host was a different kind of job.
It's kind of like newspaper man.
Yeah.
It's dying.
Well, yeah, but it's dying because the comedians are taking over.
Well, yeah.
It's garbage is what it is.
Well, nobody could be Bob. I mean, we reached our Pat Sajak was the apex. And no, the apex was, what's his name from Jeopardy?
Alex Trebek.
Alex was his, that was the highest.
He was good. Bob Barker was better than Trebek.
Well, Bob longevity. I mean, so did
Bob was
Trebek.
the man.
Bob was the man.
He was the
Bob
man.
had spokesmodels.
Yeah. And Richard Dawson on Family Feud was great.
The
one who made out with all the...
Yeah.
He had,
he would kiss your wife,
8
your
weeks
daughter,
later,
and
everybody,
your mom.
everybody in the family
every single one of them.
would
right
break
in
out
front
in
of
cold
you.
sores in the 70s. Dawson would just give the whole family a cold sore.
And the dad of the family would just look as he kissed his wife, and then he kissed his mom, and then he
Tongue
kissed his
hard,
daughter,
like
and
down,
kissed
right.
them all.
Take the cold sore with you.
And it was he'd put his hand on their chin and be like,
It was the good days.
and then he'd come back in for a second one, and it was like, whoa, the balls on this man. And no one ever said anything like, hey, bro, get your mitts off my wife.
Well,
they weren't going to say anything.
They were on TV.
Wouldn't say. I mean, they weren't going to say a word.
Have you seen the beginning of the? Well, they made fun of it on the European Vacation. Anyway,
I don't remember the last time I saw European
It was a
Vacation.
terrible movie. I shouldn't have referenced that.
Yeah, don't reference.
Let's carry
that
on.
one. Don't reference that one.
What about Chuck Woolery?
Chuck Woolery is okay.
He's all right.
He just didn't have the best game shows to host. Like, and sometimes you can't control what you got.
I had
Love Connection.
We had
that was
myself
not a great show.
And Minix, and I think Reinigle was there. We had lunch in the same restaurant as Woolery at a diner in Calabasas. I'm only 1 degree away from Chuck Woolery. Yeah, he was there.
Did you guys shake hands?
I was too nervous.
I could see that.
I've actually seen Chuck Woolery in person, and he looks good.
Oh, yeah?
Dude looks good.
Even
He told
without
me,
makeup,
I'll be
he
back
looks
in
good?
2 and 2. I said, hey, can I get an autograph? He said, we'll be back in 2 and 2.
And then he never came back.
And
Did
he just did 2 and 2 and left.
He was just gone, like a
I
phantom.
got a love connection, if you know what I mean.
Like a phantom. He was just gone. Hey, I have some lines for the next team for several free agent players. You can get these at betonline.ag. And one of them is, I guess, formerly or currently, or will be in 14 minutes, I suppose. No, an hour and 14 minutes.
That's 100.
He'll be a free agent. Chris Paul, he'll be a former San Antonio Spur, I suppose, pretty soon.
He'll be a Clipper.
They are the third favorite at 5-1. Right above them, Sacramento, 4-1.
That's close to home.
The Phoenix Suns are the favorite at 3-1 to land Chris Paul. 3-1.
Well, hasn't he said to everybody that would listen, I've spent enough time on the road. I want to go back and live close to my family and kids. Is Phoenix? I guess that's only an hour flight.
It's closer.
I guess he could commute home every night.
All of the options, all the top 6 options are West Coast-ish teams. Phoenix, Sacramento, Clippers,
Let me tell you something.
Warriors, Nuggets, Lakers.
If Oklahoma City had anything to take away from this year, I would try to talk Chris Paul into coming back, man. If you want to leave with a ring, we could use you.
I don't think they'd use him.
Are you kidding? They desperately need a point guard. Are you kidding? If there's one takeaway, this guy would come cheap. He wouldn't demand minutes. But when Shai Gilgeous does not have the ball in his hand, this team did get lost. There's a reason why they went 7 games.
But are you going to take Dort or Caruso off the floor for him?
No, I don't think he's going to cost that much. I'll take 13th guy off whoever that 13th
No,
guy
I'm talking
is.
about. No, I'm not talking about on the roster. I'm talking about minutes.
I think there's enough minutes for everybody. I do it, and if there's one thing that I can take
also,
away from
you're also
Oklahoma
trying to
City
develop Case and Wallace. Like,
I don't think he's in the way of that. He's not. The first thing you'd have to make very clear is you're not coming to start. That you got to do that in San Antonio. Here, you're a 12-minute a night guy. But if you want a ring, if you're truly chasing a ring, there is no better opportunity, and especially if you will sign a very amenable, nice contract. You want a ring? I know they could use it.
Yeah,
they won't.
I don't think they will either. They are 22-1. If you think the
he was there at enough games. Certainly was spending some time. I guess he has some property still.
Indiana Pacers 25-1. Their point guard feigned injury to get out of the beating that was Game 7. So
you think he's going to land in Indianapolis?
No, I don't. Al Horford's next team.
I thought that was going to be home. I thought he was going to hit the couch.
I don't think so. And you know what? You know who the fifth favorite is? The San Antonio Spurs.
Okay, let's talk about what the Spurs. We were talking about what they do in the offseason.
8-1, by the way.
Anybody who's paying any attention to the morning huddle, and AJ and I we don't always agree, but here we do. The idea of a big man in the old school sense of the word does not seem to be something the Spurs are chasing.
No.
So if you're thinking about what the Spurs have used in the past, it's posts, big men, fives, like Al Horford.
Yeah.
That's a guy that has a game very akin to several of the big men that have played through San Antonio.
Good passer, good defender, stretches the floor, but not a clog up the paint big body.
So out of the way, good passer, all that. I mean, he would. It wouldn't be a bad move, but this is an old man we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something you'd have to really monitor.
8-1 is the number on the Spurs. Bucks 7-1. Lakers 6-1.
Now we're getting into it.
Warriors 5-1. And the favorite, the New York Knicks 4-1.
All things being equal, every team offers the same. You're Al Horford. Where do you go?
Lakers.
Probably.
I think so. But let's be honest, are any of those 5 teams, Knicks, Warriors, Lakers, Bucks, Spurs, can you picture any of them winning a title next year?
They're no better off than Boston. He's
right.
It's frying pan fire. But if he was to go someplace, I would think it would be
play
a
with
big
Luka, and that would make the most sense to me. How about DeAndre Ayton?
I would talk up a good game, but never sign him. I'd tell everybody I loved him.
No. It'd be great for you.
Yeah, he's good for you, not for me.
He'd be a great fit for your team.
I think he'll actually want to play for you.
The Spurs are 16-1 on this list. They are 11th on the list.
Spurs fans, we don't need to be this desperate.
No.
This is not a guy we want.
This ain't for you. The top handful, though, the 5th favorite is the Oklahoma City Thunder, 9-1, which
I think that's a just-in-case move.
I think it would be too.
I can't imagine.
No, doesn't make sense to me. The Celtics at 8-1. Why? I mean, the Celtics are trying to shed salary.
Yeah.
Why would they sign anybody like that? It doesn't make any sense. Bucks 6-1.
Now
if Giannis says, "Get me someone who can play. Get me some
attention."
The Warriors 4-1.
Now we're getting into last gasp kind of stuff.
Lakers 3-1 are your favorite.
Again, Lakers seem to make the most sense.
I mean, Lakers with a big. Every big who's associated is gonna make sense for the Lakers.
He's the first call, so yeah, we'll see which one they decide on.
And finally, a player who is a real difference maker at this point, and you'll be glad to know that the Spurs are dead last on the list of teams likely to sign Russell Westbrook. They are 33-1 to sign Russell Westbrook, last listed in the odds. Oklahoma City is 25-1. They are next. So. This is not a team. This is not a guy that like.
Hey man, I'm a proponent of having them rip the jersey off you. Like make them make you go away because you never get to do it again. But Russell, have we sunk to this?
Here's your 5 favorites. The 5th favorite at 9-1 is Detroit.
Why not?
The Dallas Mavericks 6-1.
Sure, why not? I mean,
the Indiana Pacers, who now have an opening, plus 450. Sacramento 4-1, and your favorite, and this would definitely get him to stay, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, can you
plus
imagine
350. That'd fix everything. Giannis would say, "Well, I'm here for life."
And then you got to make sure he's there to play with Dame.
I'm here for life. Well, the rules will still maintain only one basketball in play at a time.
That'll be fun. Time out.
I can't imagine being a. And you know what? I say this. I mean, Russ had a fairly fine season last year, quite frankly. I just don't want him on my team.
No.
Like, I want to watch him from afar. I want somebody else to have him and go, oh, it's nice. He's still trying, still putting up some points. The last thing I want him to be on is my team. I don't want – because all it is going to frustrate the hell out of me that he's on the floor and someone else isn't.
Jacking up shots.
Yeah, I don't need that. But, yeah, let somebody else take him. That's a good –
Who would you prefer to have least, Harden or Westbrook?
Harden.
God, at least you have
Harden's
the right
a better player.
Yeah, Harden's a better player.
But
now he is.
But he's a cancer. He's a loser.
And I don't think Westbrook
You're a real
is.
crumb
I
bum.
I haven't heard over the last several teams anybody really complaining about Westbrook.
You know what people don't say about Russell Westbrook? That he doesn't care and he doesn't try. Because Russell Westbrook does care. He does try.
But he tries for just me.
Yeah, but James Harden, he ain't even trying that hard for himself.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
He's like, if I show up they'll give me a paycheck.
Should be
I'll be
enough.
good. Go spend it at the Butt Naked Club. I'll be a happy man.
And I played defense last Tuesday, so
it ain't
I'm
that.
good
It
for
ain't my
another 10
time
days.
again. It ain't my. Somebody else do it this game.
Contractually, I only have to play defense every 117 minutes. It's part of the deal.
And in a 3-minute burst.
Daryl Morey told me that was the point at which I'm at my finest, every 117
minutes.
minutes.
And he said, man, you're brilliant at
the
that
numbers
point.
show.
He called me brilliant. And
it's analytics.
He kept giving me gold watches, said he loved me like his son.
I didn't make this stuff up. This is real.
All right. We are now halfway. That means for Rob and I, we are 3/4 of the way through our day. Because, again, working overtime, some people would say 8 hours is like a regular work day. For us,
that's nothing.
I don't want to brag, but
my work day is so long I can sleep through it. And
Not
still
all
get 8 hours
heroes
in.
wear capes.
That's true.
No, that's true.
It's true.
Or underwear, for that matter.
You're right.
I'm just saying.
You're right. All right. We will be back. It is the Morning Huddle. Free agency approaching 1 hour away from the opening of free agency. We'll have RJ Marquez coming up in the 4 o'clock hour as well from KSAT 12, talking about Texas State. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1. Nope. It's the Blitz on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 1604 with the Blitz.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Let me tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. Love Stevens Roofing, family-owned company, local company, and they're absolutely the best in the business. And you know as well as I do, we've had a lot of storms lately, haven't we, here in San Antonio? Also in the Hill Country, Fredericksburg, Castroville, they have been all over the place. And if you think your roof has been damaged by some of these storms, the best thing you can do is call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They'll send a crew out to inspect your roof, no obligation, and absolutely free. And they'll let you know if anything's wrong with it, any repairs that are needed, or they'll tell you that nothing's wrong and you're good to go. Either way, Stevens Roofing is the number you need to call. Remember it always for all your roofing needs. 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing and Solar, the absolute best in the business. 210-785-0994.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite.
That's what makes it for me. That's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
It's official as the Texas State Bobcats are heading to the Pac-12 as the board approved a $5 million exit fee to leave the Sun Belt and was accepted by the Pac-12, who is set to join starting July 1st of 2026. NBA free agency is upon us, and it gets underway at 5 o'clock tonight where the free agency frenzy begins. The San Antonio Spurs have tendered two-way qualifying offers to Harrison Ingram and Riley Minix. And in the NFL, a big trade was made as the Dolphins are sending cornerback Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith to the Pittsburgh Steelers for safety Minka Fitzpatrick and a future fifth-round pick.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports.
All righty.
Running your third line.
Hey, let's give something away here. How about tickets to go see Strangelove at the Aztec Theater? What's my date here for Strangelove? Let me see.
It would be July the 11th.
Thank you. That's what I was hoping you'd say. July the 11th, Strangelove, the Depeche Mode experience.
They're also bringing Electric Duke, which is a tribute to Bowie. I'm assuming David.
I think
same guy, different wig.
Not Jim Bowie.
Not Jim. I don't think he's bringing knives, but
that'd be crazy though.
Maybe he's bringing some Ziggy Stardust.
Maybe if Jim Bowie, a tribute to Jim Bowie, showed up, he could stab the guy who does the Depeche Mode cover band. Not kill him, but just a little stab.
Reenactment of the Alamo.
A little stab. They're going to be at the Aztec Theater July 11th. If you don't win tickets, you can always buy them online at livenation.com. But let's go with caller number 2. Caller number 2, you're going to be the big winner if you're if you are that lucky. And James, if it's someone who doesn't like our show, hang up on them.
Yeah, ask them what their favorite morning show is.
Ask them what their favorite show is on the station, and if it's not us, just say sorry, you're ineligible this time. Try again later. Try again later. Try again later. Try again later. Then I'm sure we'll get a winner. All right. I guess I got to figure out what's your strategy here on making sure that we get to RJ Marquez at 4:30. What should be my break strategy?
I'd get out about 4:30. I'd get out about 15.
Okay, and then
time to percolate, and then
do we want? I was thinking do a short segment here.
That's what I would do,
and then make 4:30 around the time we start our final segment of the hour.
I think that would be the wise move because big day in the life of the Bobcats. Not since they changed their name from multi-directional.
Yes, that's true.
They weren't just unidirectional; they were double direction, southwest. now Texas State, as a part of the granddaddy of them all, the Conference of Champions, the Pac-12.
The Pac-12.
Conference of Champions. God bless him, rip Bill. I bet he never dreamed Texas State would be joining his Conference of Champions.
No, I don't think that was on his
Never dreamed of it. Never
his
thought it was
bingo
possible.
card.
Didn't think they could achieve such greatness.
Hey, there's a list here of underrated free agents, and I wanted to get from you if you thought any of these guys. Now, these aren't like the top of the mountain free agents this offseason, but these are kind of under the radar
These
guys.
are the parts that build championships.
And I want to know if you think any of these guys fit. Now, one of them is clearly not going to be here, I don't think, because this is where he's leaving. One of them is Chris Paul. As he winds down his career, he's 40 years old. I played all 82 games. I give him credit. I thought he played well last season.
He did.
But now, with De'Aaron Fox, with Dylan Harper, with Steph Castle, quite frankly, there's just no minutes for him.
And he can no longer continue to. I guess you can ask for anything, but I don't think he can continue to ask to be a starter. And I think that will. And once he kind of bends to that, there's a lot of teams that would love to have Chris.
And by the way, I think he was perfect for last season. I thought it was great having him here.
I'm fare thee well, but he won't be able to do there, wherever there is, what he did here.
How about Chris Boucher?
Defensive prowess.
I like to just call him Boucher, like Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. Defensive prowess, but, there's a lot of guys that are about 6'9", run, jump, and shoot.
Only 2 players with at least 800 minutes averaged 20 points, 9 boards.
That's more than I thought he got.
And 2.5 three-pointers per 36 minutes.
What's his
and Victor Wembanyama are the only 2.
I always thought of him as a kind of a rim-running, defender. But 20 points a night.
He's I don't know what you would call him as far as positionally.
Yeah.
He's not a center per se, but he is.
He's on the big side though.
Yeah,
he's a 3-4-5.
But he can shoot from outside. He is kind of a smaller Wemby. Like there's a lot of similarities.
But we got guys like that already. We have
agree.
Undersized. I've never disliked his game, but he's not even on my radar.
Very good rebounder too. I like him. He's an energy guy. Not a fit here. How about Bruce Brown? Now there's a guy who was on. I didn't even know where he was last year. Then I think the last time I thought of Bruce Brown was when he was playing for the Nuggets.
That's my memory of him.
But apparently, he has been involved in trades for Pascal Siakam and Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, he's
traded
with the Pelicans
from
now,
Indiana to Toronto to New Orleans. Yeah. New Orleans, the most recent stop. But he is a guy who plays well as a role player, like very much a role. Like he when he was his best, he was standing next to KD or Jokic.
Yeah,
no, that guy doesn't live here. So
just no.
Okay, Malcolm Brogdon.
Well, okay. Here's the thing with Brogdon: this being a copycat league, Malcolm Brogdon's value is higher than it's been because he is a ball stopper. He's one of the better defensive 2-3s out there. Heck of a defender. Can't shoot to save his life. I mean,
39% three-point shooter right now.
Actually, he might have improved a little bit. But you know what? He was Rookie of the Year. I mean, he would be a good fit if we were better. I don't think we're there yet. So he's not the kind of guy you close. He's the last guy you get.
Since he left Boston, he has, he's been in Portland and Washington, losing teams.
Yeah.
I don't know. The guy we talked about earlier, Luke Cornett, you like him.
I think if the Spurs have access to him, I think he's got a little goon to him. He's a tough guy. You're going to be bruised when you play him. He was set a pick. He's a good passer. We saw he had a great, at least 2 games during the playoffs. So the only problem with him is he's not a starter.
No.
And
he can't play a lot of minutes.
No.
He's he's a guy who gets tired. His per minute ratio is really good. But he's top 20 amongst active players on a per possession basis. He's got the same per possession as Zubac and Chet Holmgren.
2 guys
so
worthy. So no, that's one of the guys that is on my A list of make the call.
I think I'd be interested too. A good interior defender. Clearly, we mentioned the Spurs don't want a big.
By their actions, I don't understand it, but by their actions, they're telling us they don't want the big man, the refrigerator in the middle.
Also, though, while the Celtics, I know that they seem to be selling everything, but if Horford's not back and Porzingis is gone, like the Celtics need someone that
one of the reasons that they're excising salary, and this, I think he can demand that mid-level. So what's that, James?
14.1.
I think he can get that, and the Spurs have that. I'm not sure the Boston wants to pay that mid-level to him.
Yeah. How about DeAnthony Melton?
I don't know.
He was he tore his ACL 6 games in.
No wonder. Okay.
For the Warriors, and then they traded him to Brooklyn in exchange for Dennis Schroeder. That was last year, and then the silver lining is that it came early enough that he will be back to start the season. Melton's a 38% three-point shooter over the last 5 seasons.
How tall is he?
He is 6'2".
No, sorry,
doesn't make much sense here. 1.4 steals per game. In 6 of his 7 seasons, Melton's team has been better with him on the court. So it's good to have guys like that. Just don't think he's any guard. Probably not a great fit here. How about Gary Trent Jr.?
I don't need anything undersized.
Okay, but again, another guy, 39% three-point shooter.
Yeah.
26 years old. Less of a defensive liability than some other guys his size. Would be good depth. And again, anybody who can shoot from a decent clip, I'm kind of like at least a little bit interested in.
I want to look at it, but I don't want him to ever be anybody like this to be in the way of something else.
Yeah,
and we got a lot of something else.
There is a lot of, especially it's going to be hard to find guard minutes in San Antonio.
It's going to be a specialist.
Yeah,
if you're going to come in from outside.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. So, I don't know that the Spurs are going to look to make a big splash.
They had an opportunity, but with 2 first-round draft picks to address the needs they felt were most important. They could have gotten, it might not have been the perfect guy, but they could have gotten a guy that fit the big center bill that a lot of people wanted. They could have found a shooter. There was somebody out there that graded to be a potential 40% three-point shooter in college. I guarantee you they had him on their sheet. I don't know who it would have been, but I'm sure they had him available or could have. And they chose not to. They chose activity. They chose a guard. They chose a forward. They chose movement. They didn't chose plotting. So it's not what they want.
Yeah. I got a little breaking news thing pop up on my feed that the Vegas Golden Knights have traded for Mitch Marner.
You saw that coming this morning.
I did. The Maple Leafs fan, I just typed in Mitch Marner on Twitter, and they're all, this guy's an unbelievable prick. I hate this guy. Like, he took less money to leave Toronto. People are like, we're going to boo him to death when he comes back here.
No taxes. No tariffs.
Yeah. So now
I don't know how that applies to Canada.
He basically got $12 million per year from Vegas. The Leafs were offering him $13.5 per year, and they were like, "Nah, we're good." And of course, everybody's saying that he's a bad guy. Who wants him? I don't know what the Knights traded for him. I think that'll be of note, but we'll see. Toronto fan feigning happiness that they're
anytime somebody takes less money to go someplace else.
The guy who just came off his best season.
You need to go look in the mirror. Something's going on.
Yeah, he just came off his best season, and they're celebrating him leaving. We'll see how that works out. Well, he's also he is from Toronto, and wanted out.
You better go look in the mirror.
There's something wrong.
Hometown boy wanted out.
Something wrong.
To go to Sin City at that.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll do another relatively short segment, and then we'll bring in RJ Marquez at 4:30 to talk about this Texas State situation. It's the Blitz with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. How about that?
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. In fact, Ortho now has everything you need to treat your injury, but no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale starts tomorrow with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
On 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
This will not be played on my rock show. Bangarang! This is what Rob listens to on the way to work every day.
This is cacophonous.
This is why Rob comes in acting all wild.
Terrible.
Yeah, not my thing.
Feels like somebody fell asleep on their keyboard.
Yeah, but I like girls with Skrillex haircuts. That's my my favorite thing.
Even the name of the band. What's your music sound like? It sounds like the name. Skrillex.
Yeah, yeah.
Shrill.
That's one word for it.
Cacophonous.
It's banging. It's
use.
banging.
That's not banging.
It's banging.
Bangarang.
Bang-a-rank. Wow. Hey, some good news, just a little quick nugget here. Ben Askren, who is a former UFC fighter, had been in the hospital for several weeks and underwent a double lung transplant.
Yikes.
He had pneumonia. He's been on a ventilator, was going to die. And this is one of the most, he's 40 and was one of the most fit dudes ever. He was a wrestler, a high-level collegiate wrestler. And got hit hard. An Olympian, in fact, got hit hard with pneumonia, and today got a double lung transplant. Somebody was like, we'd like to thank, we're thankful to share that he's received, we're forever thankful to the donor and his family. Mm-hmm. Well, the donor can't, I'm guessing he can't breathe right now.
Sign the card, though.
Yes, thanks. But yeah, so Ben Askren they say that he's been in critical condition for almost a month now.
I knew a kid that got a double lung transplant when he was 12, had cystic fibrosis, and perfectly fine since. The guy living the life.
That's crazy.
So there's good news out there.
Yeah. Well, he needed some good news because it looked like it was looking pretty bleak. So he got it. So congrats to him. All right.
And be a donator. Donate.
Yeah, what are you going to do with them?
What are you going to do with them?
I'm not doing
Save
it.
a life.
They take mine.
You might not want them.
I'm not trying to take them with me.
I'm more than happy to give them.
I'm not trying to take them with me. There's a story about they've got the Dallas Cowboys. This Duke Mayweather, they're saying, is a key guy for the Cowboys as they try to build this offensive line from embarrassment
mediocrity.
To
let's say mediocre. Or they got better as the year went on, but they were pretty lousy when the year started. They
stunk.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. And none of it's all their fault. I mean, they got old and had a surprise retirement, which they probably should have seen coming. But we'll give them some credit. And I think the Cowboys, to be good, need a lineman named Duke.
The NFL's preeminent offensive line training guru is right there in Dallas and apparently is making big strides for the Cowboys.
Who is that?
His name's Duke. His name's Duke Mayweather.
So that's a coach, not a player.
No, not a player. He's
Duke Mayweather.
Yeah, and I don't know that he's even. I don't think he's a coach for the Cowboys. I think he's like a
consultant.
Yeah, I think basically he's a guy who comes in and helps teams. And he says basically he played Division II football, Humboldt State in California, and if he were of the right size, everybody seems to think like this guy would have been great, but he didn't have the right size.
He runs an academy to teach offensive linemen called Offensive Line Masterminds. Strike, leverage, drive, finish. Sounds like my sex life.
Well, one of his first clients was Eagles right tackle Lane Johnson. Turns out
he's pretty good.
Good sports player. And he's been apparently working all offseason with the Dallas Cowboys, and they're starting to see some decent results. Now, the Cowboys are interested. I mean, I think offensive line is the biggest issue the Cowboys have. I think that if the offensive line's no good, the Cowboys are no good.
And the irony of all this is McCarthy. That was his bailiwick. I mean, he was all about the offensive line. He worked with the offensive line so much they got fined for working too much with the offensive line. So after all of that, we're still having to bring in an expert.
Well, the new offensive line coach, Connor Riley, and the assistant offensive line coach, Ramon Chinyoung, met with Mayweather in mid-June to come up to an understanding on what kind of work he would do when the coaches weren't allowed to meet with him. So basically, there's a limit on how much coaching you can do in the offseason.
There is.
And the Cowboys said, well, our players will voluntarily come and work with you.
I get the sense that the league would rather not know that the Cowboys was doing this. I get the sense. I wish y'all wouldn't have said that out loud because that's kind of problematic.
It feels like a gray area.
Mm-hmm. I wish we wouldn't have talked about it and everybody just went about their business, but now you brought it up.
But it talks about what each of the Cowboys' 5 projected starters are being asked to work on with Mayweather in their sessions. They've got 2-hour sessions Monday through Friday that they're working together ahead of training camp in Oxnard, which July 21st will be out there. The area of focus for Tyler Guyton: posture, strength, and balance in his stance. Tyler Guyton stunk last year. Awful. And at the beginning of the season, I said, well, part of it is the guy's he's being
new position.
He's being thrown in against the Wolves and was going up against TJ Watt one week. Then Miles, I mean, it was just.
And there's still some talk. Is he a right tackle? I guess he's going to have to be the left now.
And he was a right tackle at Oklahoma, but they had a left-handed quarterback. So, I mean, I don't think it shouldn't be.
Footwork thing, though. I think that if you're changing sides like that, it sounds like that would be exactly the prescription. Make sure your feet are right, your body's right.
But he stunk last year. They've got to fix him. If he's going to be the left tackle, there's big changes have to happen. For Tyler Smith, the best player on this offensive line, getting off the ball quickly and establishing his first 3 steps to maximize leverage and power. He was, to me, the only bright spot on this offensive line after Zach Martin and Tyron Smith left.
Let's hear about our new draft pick. Let's hear what they say about this guy.
Cooper Beebe first is more reps and better utilization of his offhand, the one that's not snapping the ball. Tyler Booker, cross-training to prepare for his switch from left guard to right guard. That's the big focus for him, apparently. They said, we want you to be ready to play. He played left guard in college. We want you to play right guard as Zach Martin's successor in the NFL. Mayweather said it's been real fun to see his progress. I thought he made a really big jump the last 2 years. The thing about us, whether it's Zach Martin, whether it's Terrence Steele, whether it's Guyton, we always train to be a left side player and a right side player. So pre-draft, Tyler got a lot of work as a right side player and a left side player and will continue to do that. And then Terrence Steele, who they are still projecting as a right tackle. Boy, you talk about falling off the map last year. It's been a roller coaster. He was a pleasant surprise early on, and as soon as he got paid, it's been like, that guy got paid? So it's been wild.
There's still skill there, and I will give him the benefit of the injuries and comeback, but this is a show me year. This is it.
A lot of it, I mean, when he got hurt, and the Cowboys paid him anyway,
this is a show me year.
May have been a bit of a misstep by Dallas.
Typical Jerry jumped in front of one too quick where he should have been dealing.
Is that typical?
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean,
no, he has a history of either waiting entirely too long with his stars, but jumping the gun on those that performed way out of expectation. I mean, this was an undrafted free agent that, my goodness, what a great year. He's earned it. No. You had a bargain and you blew the bargain.
Yeah, now he's not a bargain anymore. But they say for Terrence Steele, the area of focus is a more detailed approach to his handwork as well as increased mobility. So
he's
that's the focus.
Probably the most likely to be replaced. I
think so too.
I think of all the other ones, they have a little bit more potential. We know exactly who Steele is, and he's probably going to be a good guy to have on the team because he does have starters experience. But I think they're probably looking in the near future to replace that part.
Yeah,
because he's overpaid.
To protect his guy, he said a lot of those numbers are skewed. We can go through PFF talking about the PFF numbers saying that he was a disaster last year,
and he was.
He defends it in a way, but we'll see. All right, let's take a break. Did I give away the Mellow Mushroom card yet?
No.
Oh, good. I got to save that. We're gonna give that away in the last hour of the show because the real treat is RJ Marquez coming up next from KSAT 12. Do you know this guy? Do you know RJ?
Yeah, we all know RJ.
I don't know him.
And you've met him. I think you have.
Okay, have I?
I think you might have run into him at a Spurs event. Yeah.
Okay. But he's going to come on to discuss Texas State to the Pac-12 coming up next. It is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle. Free agency's begun. We'll keep you updated on all the latest moves.
And football offseason in full effect. Trades happening yesterday. What happens today? We'll talk about it. Morning Huddle. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Want to know the secret to getting the best price fireworks for the 4th? 2 words. Mr. W Fireworks.
We've got pre-tariff pricing. Only at Mr. W will you find fireworks at the same prices as last year.
We don't charge hidden fees. And we never hike our prices.
Just the lowest prices anywhere, guaranteed.
More fireworks for less money. It sounds good, right? Find our location at MrWFireworks.com.
The secret to getting the best priced fireworks is at Mr. W Fireworks with pre-tariff prices.
Nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
The Black Friday in July event from Dell Technologies is here, with deals on tech like Dell 14 Plus, featuring Intel Core Ultra processors starting at $699.99. Visit Dell.com/deals.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and respect. A firm backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients. If you've been injured, trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
South Texas summer is no joke. With temperatures in the triple digits, your roof takes a beating. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're local, family-owned, and ready to help. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from a team that knows South Texas weather. Whether it's commercial or residential, a small repair, or a whole new roof, get peace of mind with Stevens Roofing. Call 210-785-0994 today. Stevens Roofing has you covered.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep.
Com for details. Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Okay. Let's go to the Buyers Barricade guest line. From KSAT 12, go to RJ Marquez. Good afternoon, RJ. How are you? I almost said good morning. I'm so used to not working in the afternoons. How you doing, buddy?
I was going to say, guys, yeah, I'm used to hearing you guys chop it up in the morning. So glad to hear that you guys are filling in for Jason and Joe. You know, Joe's a Southwest Texas guy, so I
are we allowed to does he say Southwest? I guess if that's on my diploma,
that's what your degree says, yeah.
So what's that?
Yeah, hey, you know what?
Go ahead.
No. It's you know what? If you're a South Texas State guy, I got love for you. I'm a Texas State alum, so you know what? But at this point now, we're all the same family. So, and things are, and it's a good day for Bobcat Nation today.
Well, my dad walked on the football team at Southwest Texas State many years ago, and he always called it Southwest Texas State even after the change. He refused to change his mind on that. So.
Well, it does speak to the progression of this university. I mean, the double-directional school, national champion, small school.
Yep.
And from that point to now, I think you can draw a direct line to today.
Okay, well, here's the deal. Texas State gets invited to the Pac-12. They've now accepted this offer. I guess my question for you is, what does this really change for Texas State, and mostly what I'm talking about here is football. I think we can all agree that there are other things involved, but football is the king. What does this mean for Texas State football, short term and long term?
Yeah, guys, I think obviously the name of the game is now money, right? TV money, media rights money, revenue share, whatnot, and that's something that I actually just talked to the president and the athletic director a little while or so ago about, and this is going to essentially quadruple what Texas State is bringing in from their conference affiliation with the Sun Belt Conference, which the Sun Belt has been a decent league for the Texas State Bobcats. It's been pretty solid. We saw Coastal Carolina make it all the way to the Natty and the College World Series. Basketball programs have been solid. Football programs have been solid. But really, guys, this is a step up in revenue. This is going to be a step up in terms of what the university is going to do with fundraising, with NIL efforts. Obviously, that's a huge part of the game at this point in time. So I think that moving forward, this is really ultimately what that's going to be about, the bottom line. But now you're moving up different level in terms of the athletic competition. You're going up against schools like Gonzaga, San Diego State, basketball schools, things of that nature. Utah State's been very good. Oregon State, Washington State. And then on the football side of things, clearly you got Boise State now that you got to contend with. So, I think this is going to be a step up, not only athletically, but in terms of just the financial aspirations of this university. And, one thing that I've been saying is that I think that this has sort of reinvigorated this fan base and really this donor base, which is spread out across the state. I will say Texas State being kind of this university that's in central Texas, they do have alums spread out all over the state of Texas, including here in San Antonio. I think the number, the last time I checked with the university, was about 40,000 alums that are here in the San Antonio area. So I think that this is just going to reinvigorate everyone on that end. And the name of the game, again, guys, is just really going to be about raising money and getting ready to step up athletically to take on some of these other brand mid-major schools.
Now, you mentioned the word mid-major, or in football they call it they usually had been the G5. That was when there was a Power 5. The Pac-12 no longer an auto bid conference. Presumably, I guess I should ask you instead of presuming, is the hope for Texas State that the Pac-12 eventually becomes an auto bid conference again? Because that would require the SEC and Big Ten basically saying, we want this conference to get the same piece of pie that we're getting, and it's really hard for me to imagine that. But what does Texas State think the long term of the Pac-12 is when it comes to football? Are they just a high-level G6 conference, or do they really believe there's a path to them being a Power 5 school again?
I think that they do believe that they at least have sort of a seat at the table, I guess you would say. With the Sun Belt, really your opportunity to make any sort of college football playoff is really kind of slim to none. I mean, a team from the Sun Belt can go 11-1, maybe go 12-0, and really not even be in consideration for a college football playoff position. I think we saw last year with Boise State coming out of the Mountain West, getting the number 3 seed, in which, of course, that system was a bit flawed. They've kind of made adjustments to that now. Clearly, the SEC and Big Ten didn't really take too kindly to that sort of setup. But I think now with the reformation of this league, you take sort of the cream of the crop of the Mountain West. I think the path is at least there, and at least you could see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel in terms of that. But still, no, it's still going to be tough sledding for this new Pac-12. Clearly, they've lost so much in terms of what they had with USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington, the Arizona schools. I mean, they've lost so much. So just the fact that they were kind of able to pick themselves off the mat, I think, is pretty impressive. And at least you get a pathway to it. I've been hearing that maybe Memphis may be a team that comes over for just football and they put their basketball programs in the Big East, things of that nature. So I think that if they were able to go out and maybe grab another one of those types of schools, then maybe we're talking long-term that they potentially have more of a consistent path to a college football playoff.
We're talking about Pac-12 expansion and growth. RJ Marquez joining us. Now, Kelly Damphousse, the president, and Don Coryell, I didn't realize the AD
I didn't realize that either.
Now, this all sounds great, and I know a lot of money's coming in. Did they address infrastructure issues, what they're going to have to upgrade to be part of this Pac-12, and is there any plans on capital campaigns and everything that's going to go along with playing in a higher-level football and basketball conference?
Oh, yeah, they absolutely did. And they said really that the work starts now. That's what Don just told me about on the Zoom call right now. He said really, they've gotten to this point. And they feel comfortable moving ahead with the type of financial situation that they're in. But, they're just building they're about to unveil this brand new end zone complex. It's about a $50 million complex, basically new weight room, new coach's office, new team meeting rooms.
All right.
That's on the stadium at UFCU Stadium, formerly Bobcat Stadium. They've upgraded Strahan Arena. That's now a pretty viable, pretty solid basketball arena. And the baseball and softball facilities are pretty solid as well. I think they are part of their master plan is to build a brand new training center for their baseball and softball teams, and also build one of these bubbles, right? That's what every sort of school's looking to do as well. And so that's part of the master plan for the campus that's going to be headed their way over the next couple of years. So they understand the investment. I think that they know that it's going to take a little while for them to get some footing as well, but they're definitely going to be tapping into the donors and the fan base, the boosters, if you will, and try and make sure that they can compete not only athletically but financially with some of these other schools, which I believe if you look at schools like Oregon State and Washington State, they're spending almost double in what a school like Texas State is spending at the moment. Yeah.
Well, the spending's about to have to come to G.J. Kinney, because if you want to remain competitive, and Texas State has been in Division I, FBS, whatever you want to call it, since 2012, and the last two seasons are the first two times they've been to a bowl game. So there was a whole lot of real bad football for a long time. G.J. Kinney has kind of turned that around, almost to the point where if G.J. Kinney doesn't get some, a real pay boost, he's likely to be gone. That might be the first thing that Texas State needs to invest in. But my question is, because this is a program that has, never really had success until the last couple of years, are they ready to step up in competition right now, or do you think there's going to be growing pains competitively as well? I know everyone around here is like, hey, we've got our guy, G.J. Kinney, but you're not going to be playing against Sun Belt competition anymore. Is there thoughts that this may take a while to build up to a Mountain West level, or now a Pac-12 level competitive football roster?
I think so. I think that, right now there's no sort of disillusion of them thinking that they're going to walk into this new Pac-12 and have immediate success in terms of conference championships. But I think because of what you mentioned, the investment into GJ, the investment into the football program itself, I think that they feel that they're in pretty good position to at least sort of get a little bit of a head start on that process. Now, you guys were talking about GJ. They did double his salary. I think he's at $2 million a year now, which I would say he's one of the top group of 5 paid coaches at this moment. He's by far the top paid Sun Belt coach, because I think they knew that this was sort of in the works. And in fact, President Damp has just told me right now that they had reached out and started negotiations with the Pac-12 about a year ago. So when you kind of read the tea leaves, building this brand new end zone complex, kind of this master plan that they've unveiled, the investment into GJ, which, I mean, $2 million is not a lot, but it is more than what Texas State has ever paid.
For what they paid him, that's the most. I mean, that was an investment in the future.
Spencer Danielson at Boise is making 2.2 per year, so it's not far off.
He's
well
paid.
Coach Traylor's I think Coach Traylor's at, what, 2.5 or 2.6, I want to say, with UTSA.
But he'd been to bowl games, He'd already built that. So I think Kenny's going to be due for a raise. Now, I'm just going to ask, not as the sports guy that you are, but as an alumni, do you feel like, as an alumni and guys and the people that you graduated with, are you guys ready to start writing the checks that are going to be involved in all that's part of big-time bowl-worthy football?
Yeah, Rob, I can't wait to start getting more mail.
Oh, it's coming.
Texas asking for a donation here or there. I think that's part of it. And you know what? I think that President Damphus and Don have been pretty open about what's going to be needed in order to kind of get this program to where they want to be. So and something that I kind of alluded to earlier, I think this has sort of reinvigorated the boosters, the donors, and something, I mentioned this earlier, but there's a pretty good amount of alum in every part of this state. I think that if they can tap into every metro area, including the San Antonio area, Austin, Houston, Dallas, the DFW area, I think that they can do a good job of kind of rallying some of the donors here. But I'm with you, man. I mean, I get those letters all the time in the mail asking for donations. I'm getting calls, texts, left or right. So this is the world of college football nowadays, and so I think that that they feel pretty confident that they're going to be able to get a pretty strong donorship base moving forward. And I think for the most part, you were talking about just on the side of the alum things. I think for the most part, it's an exciting time for Texas State athletics, and not only for the football program, but for basketball,
coming to San Marcos
Gonzaga,
once a year.
Man, who would have thought that, man?
That's wild.
I'll be there next year. I will not miss that.
Yeah, Texas State. Last year they brought in Jordan McLeod from James Madison, who's a really good G5 quarterback, but at JMU, and they spent the money to get him here to San Marcos. From an NIL standpoint, like where does Texas State figure to be competitively in that department with the other teams in this Pac-12?
Yeah, well, they've already said, obviously, and most of these schools have said that they're going to take part in this brand new world of revenue sharing with the universities. But the NIL, I just based on people that I've talked to, I think football-wise, they're getting their feet under them, and they've done a pretty good job of raising funds for NIL for football. Now, the other sports is really kind of where I think they're trying to get a little bit more traction, especially basketball. I think that's been a little bit of a sore spot for the athletics program, just trying to get some sort of generated funds for the basketball players or the basketball teams. But for the most part, I think football, they feel pretty good about where they're at. But, you guys are talking about, I mean, we are stepping up to a completely different level. And it's going to take the village, y'all, to kind of get the thing where they want it to be. But guys, again, it's a good time. I always made the joke that, we'll win the pregame, we'll win the postgame in terms of, the tailgate and the postgame party.
This might be the best party school conference. This might be the very best party school conference.
It might be. Hey, we mentioned basketball a little bit. Is there, and obviously with G.J. Kinney, there's going to be a learning curve, but Terrence Johnson,
he's been there a long time.
Yeah, but
assisted for a while.
And it was really good. It felt like early in his era, and now it's kind of started to fall apart. Is there pressure on him to get things rolling in San Marcos?
I think so. Yeah, I definitely think so. And I think there's been so much turnover with the men's basketball team. It's been a little bit frustrating to kind of see what they've been able to do over the past couple of years, basically playing 500 ball in the Sun Belt. But no, I think that Coach TJ, for all the equity that he built over the 2-3 years when he kind of took over the program from Danny Casper, I think that now is really kind of a time where he might be feeling a little bit of heat out there. The recruiting's been solid. He's done a good job recruiting. They got a couple of kids in from the portal, from some of these other Sun Belt schools, some kids that I think are going to contribute this year. But they've also had so much turnover, guys, that it's hard to tell who's going to be on this team from one year to the next. I will say one thing about GJ is that he's done a really good job, and this might be part of the NIL side of things where he's been able to sort of retain more of these guys, more of these key contributors moving forward, whereas the basketball programs have a little bit of a harder time. But I'm with you guys. I've been a little bit frustrated with the basketball program over the past couple of years, and now the competition is just going to level up. So I think that's something that they're going to have to kind of evaluate moving forward.
Well, I for one, I'm happy for Texas State. This is a great thing for them, some more money coming in. I will say that Texas State, online Texas State fan, Twitter Texas State fan, maybe getting a little too big for their britches. They're saying, we don't compare ourselves to UTSA anymore. We're comparing ourselves to Texas and Texas A&M now.
Go ahead, baby. Do it.
Here we go.
I think they believe this is actually still the Conference of Champions, Pac-12. Like they're going to be beating USC in the Rose Bowl next year. But no, it is. I think it's a great step for Texas State.
And this is huge for the Pac-12 too. They're finally, in whatever form it is, the Pac-12 as a conference been trying to get into Texas for 30 years.
Listen, this isn't the same Pac-12.
No, that's what I'm saying, but
let's face it.
They are actually a benefit to this conference as well. Everybody wants to have a team in Texas to give an excuse to come down and recruit.
Well, Rob, any team, they were down to 2 teams. Any team was a benefit to this team.
It's 90% of success is showing up. So.
No, the league was on life support, guys, and I'm glad you guys brought up a little bit of the UTSA side of things because. Man, there's been so much back and forth between the UTSA fans and the Texas State fans over the past couple of days or so. Now that this has kind of been the worst-kept secret in basically college athletics over the past week or so. But, one thing I will say is that I think part of what got Texas State to this point was the fact that UTSA had success under Frank Wilson and then Jeff Traylor. I think Texas State up the road was kind of dormant for decades. And they figured out, we need to step up our game. I thought Jeff Traylor came in here and really kind of took, this area by storm, and he's still been doing a great job. I think UTSA is going to have a great season.
And I think G.J. Kinney has had the same effect up in San Marcos. They're obviously not the same type of coach, but the effect has been very much the same.
I also think at least from a football standpoint, the American and the Pac-12 now are the 2 premier G6 conferences. So I think this does at least elevates Texas State to the level where now you're comparing apples and apples with UTSA, which I don't think you were doing before when they were in the Sun Belt. But they are right now. They're the winner of either the Pac-12 or the American. More often than not, I think is going to be the representative to the playoffs. Yeah. So at least the door is somewhat open. If you won the Sun Belt, it was still going to be really hard to get in.
You had to be undefeated and have a pretty good margin and a great player on top of that.
I remember, just thinking about Liberty last year in Conference USA, like they were like, we don't even care if you go undefeated, you're not going. So the fact that now they're playing in like one of these big boy, G6 conferences, I think is a big step up, and the path is more direct now to getting a spot in that playoff. RJ Marquez, we appreciate the time, and we will we'll hopefully talk to you again soon, man.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Great to hear from you guys in the afternoon drive. I get to hear you guys pretty often in the morning, so. Good to hear from you guys. Obviously, eat 'em up, Cats, and I cannot wait till that Texas State UTSA game at the Dome this year. That's gonna be a lot of fun for both fan bases.
Eat 'em up, Cats.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. I've got my cat here with me. Eat 'em up.
The cat they were thinking
Same thing, pretty much. Same thing. All right, there you go. That is RJ Marquez. And all guests appear via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Am I doing the Texas State hand signal correctly? Is it the 2 fingers? I don't know what theirs is.
I thought they had like a claw.
Is that what it is?
Some kind of a claw.
Is that what it is? Like this?
There are a couple of different ones.
I've seen.
I thought that was that one.
Okay, that's true.
That's what we do during the fight song.
But it's not like you don't have.
Are you a Texas State type?
Yeah, I started at Southwest Texas, finished at Texas State.
Look at you.
Yeah,
look at that.
Bobcat.
I was there during the transition.
Maroon and gold.
Okay, during the transition.
I'll tell you what, there's a whole bunch of Southwest Texas types that bought UTSA T-shirts over the last couple of years. There's no denying it. There's a lot of
they don't have
Texas State people that denied their past. I know you know who I'm talking to.
G.J. Kinney has changed that.
And I think that those UTSA shirts are going to get tucked away. This is a legitimate alumni versus alumni battle, and there's a fair amount of both. This is going to be fun.
And it's all sports too, because Texas State also has that claim to beating Texas A&M and Texas over the past few years when they were ranked number 1.
Yeah, but everybody beat Texas A&M at the end of the year, so it didn't matter. Like that, Texas State guy was so angry that we didn't talk about it, and then it turns out Texas A&M sucked at baseball, so it wasn't even a big deal.
This is a celebratory day. Why did we have to go there? We were talking about Pac-12 and suddenly Aggie baseball brought
catching strays.
Why didn't we bring up the Arizona State football team that damn near lost in there?
Well, we didn't bring that up because Arizona State didn't. They
damn near beat them.
Their football coach didn't pack up and leave in the middle of the night.
Pack up and leave?
Well, isn't that what A&M's baseball coach did? Packed up and
met in
leave?
a cemetery out in Louisiana.
Yeah, that would be packing up and leaving in the dead of night. Or you could say a snake crawled underneath the fence. You could define it a lot of different ways. I choose to use words that I can't say on the radio.
Your foot begs to differ.
How is that, by the way? How's your hook'em foot?
My hook foot?
Is it
carrying on?
Is your fungus getting better?
I can't tell.
Okay, are you using your medication?
I am.
Every day?
Every day.
Okay, good. Is it topical or do you take a pill?
It's both.
Oh, you got to take a pill and then rub some ointment on it?
And it's a soothing salve.
Do you rub your own salve or does your wife do it for you?
Oh, my wife loves me.
What about your bionic foot brace?
She gets in there and really rubs the feet. Are you kidding? Nobody gets within 5 feet of my feet. The dogs even run when I take my socks off. So I have to do my own footwork.
Oh, that's a shame.
I've been banned from several mani-pedi clinics around the
that is a real shame.
Can't even go in.
All right.
My foot pictures on
Come out with a bandsaw.
We've seen this hook foot.
Two things are happening in the next hour. One, free agency will begin at the top of the hour, officially. I'm sure there will be fast and furious news coming down the pipeline for us.
$500 million tonight.
That's what we think. That's what we expect
tonight.
And also, even more big news than that. The best news. The biggest news is there will be a $50 Mellow Mushroom gift card in a time where the economy was ruined by the previous administration. A lot of people can't afford pizza. A lot of people
didn't like pizza back then.
A lot of people don't have pizza. But now I'm giving the people pizza.
This is the biggest gift card we've ever had to give away.
AJ, you become very famous.
Thank you, Mr. President. While you're at it. But yeah, we'll give away a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom up there, 1604 and Stone Oak. So stay tuned if you know what I'm talking about. All right, 1 hour to go. We'll get into free agency on the other side. It is the morning. Nope.
Almost.
I almost made it that whole hour.
Still a balk.
I know. I know. It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 281 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6.
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we don't just represent crash victims, we fight for them. When an accident impacts your life, my team and I are committed to obtaining the justice you deserve. We approach every case with dedication because each one is personal to us. Our promise, no payment unless we win. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
At Natural Bridge Caverns, the passage of time and moving water have carved out a massive underground creation, Hidden Wonders. Our newest cave tour. Watch thousands of lights reveal otherworldly sculptures in a massive canyon with a sound and light show finale. Or visit the largest of our two caverns with a discovery tour, winding through majestic rooms with incredible formations. Above ground, top off your adventure with a zip along the sky rails on our towering ropes course. Choose your adventure at naturalbridgecaverns.com.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
The Morning Huddle.
Rob's toes are like,
I've got gorilla foot, I think is the best.
They're almost permanently put into a hook 'em.
That's what it kind of is. I have my right foot. It's turning into a hook 'em.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a rock and roll. One more Aggie curse, and thou shalt have right-footed Longhorn.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's official as the Texas State Bobcats are heading to the Pac-12 as the board approved a $5 million exit fee to leave the Sun Belt and was accepted by the Pac-12, who is set to join starting July 1st of 2026. NBA free agency is upon us, and it gets underway at 5 o'clock tonight where the free agency frenzy begins. The San Antonio Spurs have tendered two-way qualifying offers to Harrison Ingram and Riley Minix. And in the NFL, a big trade was made as the Dolphins are sending cornerback Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith to the Pittsburgh Steelers for safety Micah Fitzpatrick and a future fifth-round pick.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Who picked this music for the Blitz?
It's Trombone Shorty. Minix a fan.
Minix is a fan?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. You all right over there?
Just dropping my phone, that's all.
It was making noise?
I think it was. I couldn't tell. I had my cans are on.
I think it was. All right. We have reached the 5 o'clock hour, which means it's time for free agency to crank up. We'll see.
No Woj bombs, sadly.
Oh, no.
And I missed him during the draft, so.
Yeah. We'll see what they do. I would not expect the Spurs to be ultra busy in free agency. Feels like the Spurs roster is kind of.
I think the more likelihood is a trade.
I agree with that.
And that will happen after free agency is kind of settled in.
But yeah, I think the Spurs, if you told the Spurs you've got to go into the season with what you got, I don't think they'd be upset.
No, I think that's almost the plan. But no, there's still some rounding out. I do think that there's a move or two afoot.
Okay.
I mean, they're just going to kind of have to spread the mayonnaise out a little bit different. There's a log jam at a couple positions, and it's more about just having an equitable lineup.
Some of the ESPN and some of the insiders over there put out some things they've been hearing about several NBA teams. One of them is the Celtics. We talked a little bit about this morning. They cleared a bunch of money by trading Drew Holiday and Porzingis, and now they're in a situation where Jaylen Brown and Derek White could conceivably be traded, but the price tag is gonna be high. We don't know what happens with Al Horford and Luke Cornett, but I've also been hearing that Anthony Simons could be headed he could be headed out already. Like they may have brought him in just to use him in another deal. So I don't know what the Celtics are going for this year. Like it feels kind of like the Celtics want to tank.
But it's an odd time to do it because they could compete in the East. They can continue to. I mean, they looked like a team that needed to be dealt with, and it just kind of collapsed.
But without Jason Tatum, do they still feel that way?
Well, you still got that year, but, they have extricated so much salary. I'm not sure if they're not already done. They're going to ask for a lot for.
To me, and of course you want to say we're asking a ton. If you want Jaylen Brown or you want Derek White, it's going to cost you. But to me, both of those guys are kind of overpaid. And if the right deal came around,
I don't think Derek White is. I think Jaylen Brown probably you could justify it.
I mean, Jaylen Brown is certainly overpaid. But either one of them wouldn't be a bad guy to get off the books.
Well, you're going to have to pick one. Not this year, but over the next 2 years, one of these three will be gone. There's no way that all three of these guys exist together in 27 and 26, 27. It's just the economics don't fit. So maybe Jaylen gets a reprieve as Tatum comes back, but I don't see all three of them being together a year from now. And I think they're going to drive a pretty big bargain or drive a hard one for Derek White. I mean, he has earned a value set that was far more than they spent for him.
Yeah.
So I think that if they can pull something out, they will, but it's going to take a lot.
Again, it's just hard to tell if they're in or out. Like normally,
I think they're out as long as the offers aren't good. I think they could have the plausible deniability to Jaylen. Hey, man, we never tried to trade you ever. When all this is said and done. When in fact, I would take a call.
I mean, first of all, you have to take every call. Like I think that's a must. Is you have to at least.
Well, this time last year they wouldn't. I mean, now, yes, take the call.
I think you should consider, because with Tatum out, you should consider everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows where you're going to be. Brooklyn.
Free Cam.
They are looking to tank. They want to get rid of everything. Don't be surprised if Cam Johnson gets traded. The Nets have more cap room than any team in the NBA, and they're not looking to spend on winning now, which means they are the most likely candidate to be used as a third team for teams that can't make some money work. And in exchange, what they'll get is future assets. They do have their own restricted free agent in Cam Thomas, who was 24 points per game for them. I didn't realize that, but 24 points per game for Cam Thomas, not bad.
I think that's probably the low-key dark horse chase for a lot of NBA teams. I don't want to talk about it. We'd like to see Kevin Durant and Giannis dominate the headlines, but really the good get this year is Cam.
But it says, expect them to engage with the more coveted restricted free agents on the market, such as Jonathan Kuminga and Quentin Grimes. So maybe they will take some shot at some young guys that will line up with a timeline that will
it's good
be
to hear
more
Quentin Grimes is considered an up-and-coming free agent. The guy's worked hard to get here.
No doubt. The Bulls. Oh, God, the Bulls. First up on Chicago's to-do list is to re-sign Josh Giddey.
That would be important considering what you've done.
You mean when they mistakenly traded him away for a much better player?
Well, a different player.
A much better player.
Caruso was not going to be a starter. He wasn't going to be a starter in Chicago, and they got a double-double in Giddey. They got a better player. They just didn't get a good fit. I mean, Caruso was a perfect puzzle piece to that team. They gave them a title when they traded it to him.
Well, and also now, if you don't re-sign him, you basically gave away Alex Caruso for nothing.
Yeah, you have to re-sign Giddey just to save face. But they did get a double-double and a guy that they wanted to run an offense for a backup. And they felt like they won the trade. They didn't.
I don't know.
If they'd have done their due diligence, they'd have realized there's a reason why this cat wants him. He coached him way back in the day and knows exactly what he's capable of.
This team is dumb. They're not getting any better. This is a dummy organization, Chicago. Cleveland. Now, the big extensions coming onto the books now, Mitchell and Mobley. And the Cavs are not upset that those extensions are on their books. They want those guys. They are now in the second apron. They traded for Lonzo Ball, who, when he plays, good ball handler, good table setter, good defender, a lot of good things.
Things they need.
But does need to be out there. They're not going to pay Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome, who was probably a better scoring player than Lonzo, but not nearly the defensive player that Lonzo will be. And quite frankly, that's what Cleveland's got plenty of guys who can score.
Yeah, they didn't. It was unfortunately had to use him the way they did considering their injuries is what happened to him.
But I can't imagine he'll be back. But it says what it does is open up some playing time for last year's Jalen Tyson. Moving Okoro opens up some time for him. And the Cavs took Tyrese Proctor and maybe looking to, even though he was a second-round pick, a guy who could make their roster this year and maybe have an impact.
He'll make the team.
The Dallas Mavericks, with Kyrie taking a pay cut for this season after declining his player option, they were able to get around that. They're still able to have access to the taxpayer mid-level exception.
And sign Gafford to a good deal.
Yep. And the candidates for that, apparently D'Angelo Russell, Malcolm Brogdon, Chris Paul, Tyus Jones. The Mavericks did have interest in Dennis Schroeder, but he's expected to make more money than what the Mavericks will be able to pay. So keep an eye on them. The Nuggets will attempt to replace Russell Westbrook after he opted out. They also have that same 5.7 mid-level exception, but they're facing the repeater tax for going over multiple years in a row. Jalen Pickett played sporadically his first years, but flashed some potential. They may want to. The question is, do they want to rely on that guy to get real minutes, or do they want to start buying someone else?
Jalen Pickett will not be a guy to get reliable minutes on the Denver Nuggets.
I don't know what Denver does. Denver's in such a weird spot, especially after their GM was talking about potentially life without Joker, or not the GM, the owner's son was talking about life without Joker.
Thinking that guy needed a vacation. Time to go away for a minute.
Do you expect the Nuggets to be buyers in this offseason?
Well, they're going to have to try to be. I mean, you do have a superstar with a limited time frame to go get another championship. I think every season you better be in it to get the very best quality possible. And what they did over the offseason with a new coach in place, I don't know which direction they're going to go, but it better be in a way that the Joker likes it, or he'll take his ball and go home. That's a dude that'll just retire on you if you're not careful. I mean, you better please this guy. It won't be about forcing out. He'll just go home and run horses.
Yeah, he doesn't care. It's not like he's going to miss.
Honestly, if there's a fear of a superstar just walking away from the game, it's him.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, so you better keep him happy, or he'll go on home, take his brothers and everything with him, and you'll be left alone wondering what the hell happened. So you better continue the chase.
Of no big bombs of yet, but Shams is reporting that Mike Brown is going to have a second meeting with the Knicks as their head coach job.
Hire Dawn Staley. Hire her.
A lady?
Hire Dawn Staley. What? There's no losing to this.
You know what? You know who the best available coach is for the Knicks? Tibbs. They should hire him.
You'd think.
I would.
But, no, he's already under contract with. Oh wait.
I'd consider that. I would consider hiring him.
Just bring him in as a temp.
Yeah, like, hey man, are you interested in maybe just?
In all seriousness, there is no better time or place to go hire Dawn Staley than right now.
I don't disagree. Although, man, the first lady coach in New York. It's a lot, and if they don't win,
given the current political tenor of that city, she would be welcomed with open arms.
Gilbert says if Joker retired tomorrow, is he a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely,
unquestionably.
One more MVP, he's on the Mount Rushmore, dude.
Yeah, he is 100% a Hall of Famer. If his head fell off tomorrow,
yes,
he would be a Hall of Famer. No doubt, no brainer. But also, I mean, everybo's a basketball Hall of Famer. Let's face it.
That's easy. But this dude,
but he is a legitimate. His resume is already legit, like top level.
He got rings, MVPs.
Yeah, he's a no brainer. So, yeah, I'm curious to see when the big things start to drop. Like, what are the biggest balls to drop? I guess Cam Thomas is going to be one of them. Malik Beasley is fascinating to me now. What happens with him?
Nothing. Untouchable
by anybody.
You cannot touch an accused gambler. The league won't let you sign him. But no,
I was going to say I would try to sign him. Like if the Pistons say we're stopping conversations, I'd try to come in and say, hey man, we'll sign you. If this thing gets bad, it's voided. But we want you.
The league won't do that. You can't sign a contingent contract.
Miles Turner is...
Well, I think that's a name that you need to pay attention to. I do think that he might have played himself out of Indiana, but still have enough talent for somebody else to want.
You know what? And all the guys in Indiana seem to have a lot of respect for him. He stunk so bad in the finals.
Can't shoot.
But he can't shoot, but thinks he can.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But Miles Turner's been there for 10 years, and there was like a leadership factor to that guy. As you watch those finals. He looked like a guy who wanted to be in Indiana. He was crying because they made it to the finals. Like, he was emotional. He's clearly a guy you want, but at what cost is the question.
And once Naz Reid left the market, he got a whole lot more valuable to guys that are for teams that are looking for a professional starting NBA center.
Which I was surprised that Naz Reid re-signed with Minnesota. Like, I thought it was just a given that he was going to be gone. DeAndre Ayton, who is now
it's a done deal.
on the market.
I can't imagine the Lakers have already got this all set up.
Okay.
I think he's already going to be a Laker by the end of the night.
Brooke Lopez, very interesting name.
San Antonio?
That might be the kind of caliber of guy I could see them checking into.
I like the idea. I don't think it'll happen because, as we've talked, he doesn't really play the position the way that the Spurs want that position played.
You know who kind of does play the
Well, Robin is actually not too far away. He actually is better at it than others, but
you know who kind of does play the position the way the Spurs want it to be played for a guy who's 6'11" is Mo Wagner.
Oh,
would you be interested in?
Well, that's a mid-level exception. That's going to cost you that. It'll cost you $14 million.
13 points per game, like
yes,
decent,
I'm a
decent
fan.
player. And Orlando said, "No thanks, we'll keep the other one."
There's a health issue. I mean, he needs to be available, but he'd be a mid-level exception kind of guy. But he brings. If you're not sure, go back and watch last year's Olympic team when those Wagner brothers going at it. They can play.
Yeah,
he's good. He's not the best Wagner.
He's the lesser Wagner,
but he's a good Wagner.
The lesser, but you still better.
We just call him Wagner because he's American, and Wagner's the good one.
Wags. Man says Texas X here. Please, not Miles Turner. Please. Yeah,
we're with you. But there's a skill set.
And Vince says Spurs should trade Wemby. He's not winning a championship here.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah, I think they're considering
pull
it.
the plug. It's
they're
over.
They're looking to see what they get offered.
Good try. We gave it the effort.
We'll see what the offers come in.
He's already gotten one coach run off.
And then, unbelievably, Al Horford is apparently a name that teams are interested in. Like, and you mentioned him as a potential Spur.
Hey,
like, it's
man,
not
I
a crazy thought.
That would not only just for game, but for general altitude. If he just feels like a dude that had spent a lot of guys that have come to San Antonio, spend their last 2 years guiding the young fellas, teaching them how to be pros, and going out and delivering on once a week.
Well, and whatever. I don't know what moves the Spurs still have to make. We've talked a lot about the idea of them maybe trading for a Giannis or some sort of top level guy. If they do that. One of the guys that I am hesitant to let go of is Harrison Barnes, only because
all of that
he shoots threes well. He's the best 3-point shooter on the team, one of the best defenders on the team, and is a winner. He's the only guy on this team who knows what it takes to win.
He knows his championship ring size. He's got one.
And Al Horford would fit that if they were to move on from Harrison Barnes. I would want somebody who knows what it's like to win. And no, Duncan Robinson, no thank you. I'm good with that.
Well, I mean, now we're talking specialists. I mean, for $3-4 million a year, a dude that can hit like that. I mean, I'm not talking a lot of starting minutes, but that's a guy that the Spurs are going to have to look for. Low end with one unique skill and and an understanding of what it takes to win a title. He's been real close, so I wouldn't look at him. I wouldn't just knock him off the list, but he's one of those last dudes that help, and we're going to need it. He's one of those few shooters that's available.
Yeah, the 39% type 3-point shooter, not the worst thing, but not a guy that I'm super.
Yeah, his best stat is like a Klay Thompson stat. He touched the ball a total of like 8 seconds, took 4 shots, and scored 9 points.
He has to be. If you're a good team, he's like your 9th best player.
Yeah, exactly. He's not the first guy you go get, but when he's around,
you know what? He does the job that Champagny does now,
which maybe I don't know. I think there'd be a debate.
But I mean,
exactly.
That's the role you see it, right?
Absolutely, there'd be a debate as to which I would want, but yeah, exactly it.
Jaron Jackson just signed for $240 million.
All right, it's only $300 to that half Billy. We're thinking.
That's a big number. Yeah, we're going to start to see some of these re-signings, things like that. There's going to be big numbers getting thrown around. Hey, let's give away this Mellow Mushroom gift card, $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom, 1604 in Stone Oak. Let's go with caller number 3. You will win that $50 gift card. Dry Glazer.
What?
Remember from Dry Glazer?
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Inglourious Bastards.
Yes.
He says everyone knows that you do it like this.
That's how I count to 3.
Not like this. Now here you do this. Not this. That's the American way.
That's Dirk. That's what I learned when it was Dirk that did it first, and then I learned from Inglourious Bastards as to why he did it that way.
That's right. And it's also the hand sign you gave for the Bobcats earlier, isn't it? That's what they do at the pep rallies, right, James? There you go. I forgot he's on the phone.
No, that's not what they do. That middle finger, that's another school.
No, I think that is what they do.
No.
Hey, all right, let's hit a break. We'll be back. It is the Morning Huddle 94. Nope. God dang it.
There we went.
Son of a bitch! Why can't I do this?
You just walked in a run.
You know why? Because it says it's got me listed as Jason Minix and you listed as Joe Ryan-Nagel. It's just really confusing to me.
Throw me off.
On the YouTube. It is throwing me off. It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
Rob's toes are like
I've got gorilla foot. I think is the best.
They're almost permanently put into a hook 'em.
That's what it kind of is. I have my right foot. It's turning into a hook 'em. I think it's more of a rock and roll. One more Aggie curse, and thou shalt have right-footed Longhorn.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC at 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are full service. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions. And right now, you want to make sure your AC is tuned up and ready to go for the hot summer months. Hit the jackpot with comfort with their Lucky 7's AC tune-up for just $77. It's a 7-point AC inspection that includes a check of your capacitor, indoor coil and outdoor coil inspection. They will change your air filter, air supply temperature check, clear of the condensate draining line, and refrigerant level inspection. Get that on the schedule and make sure you're ready to go before the hot summer months are here. Call Quartermoon at 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Missions fans, level up your Tuesdays with AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium. Presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Unlock $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. Don't miss this high score deal. First pitch is 7:05 p.m. Grab your tickets now at samissions.com.
This is AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. What is this?
Sounds boy bandish.
I don't know what this is.
Boy band?
No.
No?
This is a ticket you were actually giving away last week.
Oh,
this is All-Time Low with I Prevail.
Oh, I Prevail. That's my favorite All-Time Low song.
Mine too.
Hey, I've got some good news. Sometimes I like to talk about stuff that has nothing to do with sports. Guess what's down nationwide? We're seeing a significant drop nationwide. Murder. Homicide is at its lowest rate.
What I was told by my... Anyway, go ahead.
It's because we're getting rid of all the murderers.
I've been told that
they're
that
all
was a
going
problem.
away. They're all going
down.
away. The lowest, Detroit, for instance, which is was at one point the homicide capital of the world on a per capita basis, is experiencing its lowest homicide rate since 1965. 1965.
Well, you know what? Detroit's going through a bit of a renaissance right
now. Yeah.
They really are.
I thought we were going to guess because I was going to guess Kyle Pitts draft stock.
No, people will still draft him in the first round this year. That's make no mistake. Despite the fact that there are fewer police officers nationwide than there were before the pandemic, the number of murders over the last 5 years have fallen significantly since 2020.
And what do they attribute this to?
Well, the one thing that happened in America and that period in America is of that same scale as the pandemic. And they're saying because what the pandemic did was how you spend your day, what you do. And it said all of a sudden there were a lot of young people, and young people are more likely to commit crimes than older people, at home with little to do.
Except to kill somebody, to fill the day.
And it says basically and first of all, the other thing that happened was a vital thing was ripped away, public services. So the country's local government workforce shrank by about 10% during the course of the pandemic. Biggest employer of teachers, coaches, counselors, aides, people that young people connect with. And 5 years after the start of the pandemic, local government employment is finally back at pre-pandemic levels. And they're saying that they're spending there's these jobs, these counselors, these coaches, these people who are able to help are helping. And it says the violent crimes are way down. And
I'm pretty sure you're not going to hear that from everybody. I'm just going to throw that out there. And if it is indeed down, they'll give you reasons as to.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit the narrative that I've been.
I like less murder.
Well, it depends on who's being murdered.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I just don't want me to get murdered.
See, that's one of the reasons. That's one of them, depending on who.
It's been 44 years. I've avoided it, but I'm still looking to stay in that avoidance situation. You're into that too, James?
I made it 44 years without being murdered. I'd like to keep that going.
Are you the same age as me?
Got an even longer record.
Look at us. Why do you look so much younger than I am?
A couple of young whippersnappers, because I'm not married.
That's what marriage and children does to you.
And remarkable lack of sleep. Just pickled.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's not going to change.
Somehow I sleep more than Pledger. I would say I drink less or I drink more, but I don't think that's true. With most people my age, I think I drink more, but maybe not with Pledger. But yeah, that was a fascinating stat I came across today, was that the murder rates are as low as they've been in some cases in 50 years. So great job, everybody. Great job.
Keep it up.
On
just
not
remember the rule. Don't murder us.
Yes, if
you're
going to
murder somebody, just not us or anybody we know.
And maybe do it in like a do it in a country that's not ours. Keep our stats
low.
Some
places we can sanction that.
Does
give
this
you a gun and help you out.
Count the murder region over there in Yosemite where like murder's legal?
I don't think so. Is there a legal murder spot?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
In the United States, there's like this one place where murder's not illegal.
No way. Because everybody would be trying to take their wives on vacation there.
Certainly not go there.
Yeah, I'm not. You can't trick me into that. Hey, guess who might be? We might have a new power couple. Go
on.
Tom Brady.
What? Please.
And Sydney Sweeney. Oh, they were the guests.
How old is she?
She's 28. He's 48.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Listen.
No, I wouldn't tell him no.
He's 47. She's 27.
You want to hear something wild?
Does it have to do with their sexual trysts?
No, but it kind of.
Okay.
So we were talking about this Friday on the Blitz. Joe apparently would kick Sydney Sweeney out of bed.
He would?
What?
Yeah.
Joe's a liar. Joe's wife was probably listening that day.
She's in Euphoria, right?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of her. I know every inch of her body.
Yeah. And there's no
I'm
parts
very
that are
impressed.
like.
And I'm not saying I'm not impressed.
Well, and apparently now Tom Brady has that. And she's also the gal from Handmaid's Tale. She was in that show too. So, yeah, I'd say that she's pretty hot. What'd Joe say about her?
He's not a fan.
Huh.
Yeah.
Every man has a type. I'm not going to question. Every guy's got a certain thing.
Okay.
A bloom, if you will.
Joe loves him some Livy Dunn.
Like I said, everybody got a type.
Not a fan of Sydney Sweeney or her bathwater.
Okay. I mean.
Also, on the zone of death, as it's called, there is a 50 square mile radius in the Idaho section of Yellowstone National Park where there's a loophole, legal.
Totally legal, huh?
Well, that means it's not illegal.
It's decriminalized?
Well, I don't think there's a statute because it's a federal, is it some sort of special land? I can't imagine there's any part in the United States where murder is legal. It might just not be illegal as defined. But I will never vacation there. Remind me not to go there.
What does that say? What's that say about Giannis?
Open to options outside of the Bucks.
Oh, we've already known that. Yeah, we've already known that for a while.
We have only signing that's of note is Jaren Jackson got the big money at 200 plus out of Memphis.
And Santi Aldama.
Yeah, Santi Aldama with Memphis just re-signed. A good deal, good shooter. Causes fights on a bench. Got Desmond Bain run out.
3 years, $52.5 million for Santi Aldama.
There's some Spur fans that were talking about him. He's a good shooter, no question.
He had a career year last season. So
but no defense, none.
But yeah, but on that team,
want to punch him.
That's whatever. On that team, everybody else plays pretty good defense, so they can handle it. And so the Grizzlies throwing around some money, it seems.
Well, they got rid of Bain and a lot of future worries, so they got some money to spend.
I think what this also tells you is, I mean, we talked about it. If the Grizzlies were to rebuild, would it be around Jaren Jackson or Ja Morant? I think this answers that question.
Well, at the very least, Jaren's not going anywhere for a long time.
Yeah, if you sign a 5-year max deal, $240 million, Jaren Jackson is a Grizzly, at least for the foreseeable future. So if they are going to rebuild, it means that Ja Morant would be the one heading out. And I don't know. Again, you're not going to get fair value. Whatever you
think Ja's worth, he ain't.
Yeah, Ja would bring back less than what he is, what his actual on-court play is worth.
The only person that can do that could trade Ja Morant is a new general manager.
Yeah.
You know, whoever just walked in, the current GM cannot trade Ja.
No, you can't.
You get fired.
A lot of people asking about the kitty, so I just figured I'd put it down here. CJ says Tom Brady and Angel Reese. No, he's got a real life angel in Sydney Sweeney.
Now that would be worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you? I mean, Tom Brady and Angel Reese. There's so much talent combined in that couple.
Think of
the most accurate quarterback of all time with the most inaccurate shooter of the WNBA of all time.
So, gosh, imagine what their babies would be.
They'd be pretty good athletes. I'll give you that.
Yeah, they'd a
rebound
athlete. I mean,
me-bound.
Yeah, I don't. It's funny. I guess Tom Brady. I mean, obviously he's a great football player.
I think
athleticism not something. It's not something I consider I don't consider him a great athlete.
No, he's a product of a ridiculous amount of effort and science.
Yes, When I think athlete, I think of guys like Bo Jackson, like guys who they're just bigger, faster, stronger than everyone. Tom Brady's none of those things. He's just better than everyone at his job. Like,
yeah, I think you need to go back and look at his senior year.
Oh, his combine photo?
Combine 40. I mean, what else did you need to see?
I will say the fact that he ran a better 40 at age 42 than he did at age.
He was in better shape
at
42 than he was at 23.
That is impressive. That is impressive.
He'd been living in a vacuum tube.
Yeah. All right. We've got one segment of radio left for our week, for our Monday. I'd say for our week, but for our day. Rob and I, we've been going at it for 7.5 hours. We are
Warriors.
Physically drained. I mean, it's unbelievable what we've done today, quite frankly.
I slept through the whole last segment.
I can't say that I blame you. We'll be right back. It is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle. Free agency's begun. We'll keep you updated on all the latest moves.
And football offseason in full effect. Trades happening yesterday. What happens today? We'll talk about it. Morning Huddle. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $699.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million. Pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Eczema flaring up again. We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Lowe's knows how to set off your July 4th with savings. Right now, buy one, get one free on select one-coat coverage interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for just $10. Hurry, these July 4th deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for more details.
Who sings this? Is this all-time low?
I hope so.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
I'd play this on my rock and roll station if when I get one. I don't want to assume that they've heard me do this and know
I think
that
you should start a podcast.
it's not. I'm talking about
But it's music.
talking about radio, Rob.
I think you could.
Hey, a couple other news and notes from around the league. A couple more signings. How about this one? Dorian Finney-Smith. 4 years, $53 million to the Houston Rockets.
All in, man. They push their chips to the middle of the table. They're coming for you, OKC. You ready for this?
Yeah.
You ready for this? I love it.
Somebody was asking about the Spurs, and the Spurs and several other teams, apparently, according to Brian Windhorst, are holding out on making any deals because they are interested to see what happens with Giannis.
Yeah, well, good excuse.
Windhorst had previously said San Antonio, Houston, Miami, and New York specifically have stayed out of major transactions and saved assets to potentially chase Giannis.
Does Houston still apply?
I was going to just say Houston probably doesn't apply anymore, but Houston, after getting KD and after after signing Dorian Finney-Smith, they probably feel like they're set.
And signed Jabari over the weekend too.
Yeah, so now, that leaves San Antonio, Miami, and New York. If I were the Knicks, I would send my coach over to talk to Giannis and just say, hey, man, what do you think about us? I'm sure that'll sell him.
Maybe if you sent Don Staley.
Maybe that
he wants to play for. Maybe.
Who has more clout in NBA circles, Don Staley or Mitch Johnson?
That's a good question. I don't want to answer that on the grounds it might make somebody mad.
I bet if Mitch Johnson walked up to Giannis, he wouldn't know who he was.
Who are you again?
So I'm gonna go with Don Staley, Mike.
I know she commands a presence. I'll continue to say it. I think for a lot of reasons it would be a really good hire. I think it's time. She's a hell of a coach.
Before Becky?
Well, Becky would be. She's not in the running though. They've already talked about down, so I'm not going to put them in competition. But she specifically to the Knicks. This is a unique time. It might be the perfect time.
Yeah. Memphis is busy. We mentioned Jaren Jackson. They've also agreed with guard Cam Spencer, 2-year, $4.5 million, fully guaranteed. That's going to happen. We mentioned. The other one is who was the other guy that they
Santi Aldama.
Santi Aldama. That's right. Santi Aldama, 3-year, $52.5 million deal to come back to the Grizzlies. And apparently, Cole Anthony, they're working to a resolution that allows Memphis to create that cap space to extend Jaren Jackson while giving Anthony the opportunity to find a way out, find his next place. So they're going to let Cole Anthony get out of town and go make his living elsewhere. That'll help.
I didn't see that coming. I thought they were going to use him.
Apparently not. Well, I don't know. They might use him. They might would have used him when Ja gets suspended again.
That's what I heard. Seriously, I thought they brought him in to kind of fill the void when Ja wants to show his gun.
Yeah, we need as soon as Ja gets suspended this year, we're going to really need you.
So you need to be ready every day.
Yeah, always be ready.
Be ready.
You never know. On. But yeah, the Grizzlies. I didn't have the Grizzlies being the busiest team in the first hour.
They didn't spend a whole lot toward that $500 million I was hoping, but they did spend some money. I'll give them that.
Well, I mean,
Jaren's $200 million, but
that's
the other two.
That's a good towards $500 million, and because $240 for him, $53 for Dorian Finney-Smith.
That's $300 million.
We're on our way.
We wanted $500 million.
On our way. And B-ball Paul Reed has extended with the Detroit Pistons 2 years, $11 million. Every drop counts when you're trying to get there. So
we got 19 minutes.
19 minutes to get the did you say the first hour or the first day?
Well, I was trying to get it done by the time we left.
$500 million the first hour.
That's really only two big contracts. So I was hoping maybe one would break free.
Well, nothing. Oh, Frank reminds me that Whoopi Goldberg already coached the Knicks, so she wouldn't even be the first lady coach.
Oh, that's true. Well,
that's a good
point.
Jokes there. That's a good point. Whoopi was she was a good coach.
Seemed like it.
What was the name of that movie?
Like Mike.
Was it Like Mike? Yeah, it might have been.
No.
It was the kid with the shoes, right?
I thought it was it Eddie?
Oh,
that was
Eddie.
it.
Yeah. Like Mike. Come on.
Was she coaching a dead guy? What was that one? What was Eddie?
Eddie was.
How did she end up being a coach?
She was a fan that got.
I think she
given the job.
Yeah,
for
like
something.
won a contest or something. I don't know. Which sounds like a Knicks thing to do is have a contest to be the head coach. This actually might turn into the movie Eddie. Like that's it's entirely possible.
I just want Spike Lee to coach the Knicks.
That could also.
So I've heard Spike Lee. I've heard Jalen Brunson's dad. Now I'm hearing Dawn Staley. I just say give the job to Whoopi.
Well, she's been fired once. We don't want to retread.
That's true.
She didn't make it the first time back when the rules applied.
Claymore says Dawn Staley ain't interested in leaving South Carolina.
I know she's not. But
3-time champ as a coach, her legacy is set.
Everything's for sale.
Dude, but listen, the money that's there to be made coaching college lady basketball is not what's there to be made in the NBA. Let's face it.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I
you
don't
can
blame
say
her.
her legacy is set, but her bank account ain't set. Caitlin Clark's made more money from endorsements in the last year than Dawn Staley made in her entire lady basketball career. Like, I'm sure Dawn would like to get her hands on some of those bucks. And being an NBA coach, she'd get paid. That'd be a big
I would imagine starting $5 million a year.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Vince says Adam Trevino could coach, or that Vince says Adam Sandler could coach the Knicks.
Well, I know he's a good scout. I saw him find somebody in a movie last year.
Yeah, he did. That was what a pickup.
Yeah. So I mean,
Found
there's a
Anthony
history.
Edwards, I believe.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah. No, he found
Hernan.
Hernan Juan
Yeah.
Gomez.
Juan Gomez.
Juancho.
I actually liked that movie. A lot of people thought it was terrible. I actually thought it was pretty good. I thought they did a decent job with that. Normally, anytime there's a movie with Adam Sandler where he's serious, it's terrible. I hated the one with Kevin Garnett.
The Uncut Gems?
Oh, I hated that movie.
No, not a good one.
That was bad. I don't care what anybody says. That was not a good movie.
And he said, "Can I use this accent?" Everybody said, "Sure, you're funding this movie. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's your money." So yeah, you can do the stupid accent.
But yeah, if I'm Dawn Staley, I think I'd take that job. Just because you'll never make the kind of money that you can make there.
And it's the money, but also think about when the Knicks. The reason they fired Tibbs is the reason they got good. This whole situation is screwed up, but at least Dawn Staley brings the Tibbs mentality. I mean, the franchise. At least the way they pick guys to come and play for Tibbs, it wouldn't have to change. Staley comes to the game the same way Tibbs does.
But someone's got to also break the barrier. Someone's got to be the first one. And like you say, legacy is set, but that's your legacy when you're the first lady coach in the NBA. That's a huge deal.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people want to do that.
Saying Dawn has a best-selling book, bruh, chill. Let me tell you, a lot of people have best-selling books and are scrounging for bucks.
I would be saying this about a guy, too, that had these kind of, out of college, who had all the bona fides. It's not about her being a woman. That's just that's part of it.
It's being a lady basketball coach in college versus being an NBA head coach.
But she's got the bona fides, male, female, X, Y. It doesn't matter. She's a hell of a coach.
Yes.
And then let's combine the political times and all that. It just... Given what's going on in New York right now, both athletically with their pro sports teams and just socially, it's an environment that's ripe for something like this.
Her current salary is $4 million a year. I think they would have to offer her
minimum 2 extra.
I think it would have Tibbs was making 8. I think it would have to be 8.
You don't get 8 to start, but yeah, I would give her I'd give her $50 million at the minimum. 5-year deal. 12-year deal, whatever, 6-year deal, but it would cost that much, but it'd be worth it.
No, I'm wrong. So his original salary was $8 million a year, and then he signed a 3-year, $10 million per year extension, 3-year, $30 million on his extension. I think 9 is a fair number.
Go squeeze Dolan for every penny. You're crazy if you don't do it.
That's what I would do. A lot of people still talk. Gobar is is there still a chance for the Spurs to go after Giannis? Yeah. I really do think so. I think the Spurs believe there's a chance too. So
it would have to be a very favorable deal for the Spurs to do it, and that would involve the Spurs keeping at least the 2 or Castle, one or the other. It would. We know that it would involve.
It would take either Castle or Harper plus some picks
and a player or 2. And I think that if the offer was there, I do think the Spurs would take it. I do think that if they could get them to listen, and they'd be crazy not to. So I
think so,
appreciate
Tim.
holding back and seeing what's happening.
Now you are you're in the boat of if you had to choose to give up one of the young guys, you would rather give up Harper.
Scratch ticket. Yeah, I take the kid that's already shown me he can play.
You want to keep keep Castle and send Harper.
Yeah, and because I've already got my point guard that I'm going to spend a lot of money on in De'Aaron Fox, I expect Dylan Harper's going to be a superstar. I do, but I have a guarantee in Steph. I know he can play. He's already shown it.
As much as I love Steph, I think Dylan Harper is like a special type of talent.
But if you're going to pay, I don't think that this will ever come up. I'm glad that they're not going to have to choose which child they love more. But I would get it. The only reason I would err on the side of Steph Castle is I think they're going to keep De'Aaron Fox, and it's a
better fit.
It's not a better fit, but I traded for him. I promised him some stuff. He's here, and I don't want to screw up an all-star. That's also a scratch lottery ticket. I know exactly what I'm getting.
But I think Fox and Harper could play together.
Oh, I'm not saying I don't want them. That's my dream. I want all three of these guys on the court a lot next year. But if it came to Giannis, I would have to say goodbye to one of my kids. It'd be like, I don't know which one I like more, but you're going to have to take them from me.
I might even just tell the Bucks, you pick which one.
Seriously.
We'll keep the other one. You pick, we'll keep the other one.
Because I don't think I can go wrong. I'm going to have an all-star, whoever stays.
Yeah, that way you can just say the Buck, and then you've got kind of the culpabilities off of you for running one of them out. You can just say, listen, this is the guy the Bucks demanded.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to keep both of them, but they demanded this one.
And the level isn't the same, but the Spurs have done it with George Hill, a guy that Pop loved. I mean, we thought he was going to be a part of this championship franchise. He fit right in, did everything, came out of a little tiny school, all the things that have made former Spurs. But when Kawhi's around,
but it's also different. No one knew what Kawhi really was at that point.
And we didn't know.
This is like getting a known.
But I'm telling you, the decision to trade George Hill was a lot more difficult than people will give you credit for. And it was brilliant to see him. But the Spurs, what I'm trying to get at is we have traded golden children away. We have traded what we thought were very important pieces just because there was something better came along.
And it would also be the biggest acquisition in the history of the San Antonio Spurs.
I would say in the NBA. It'd be even bigger than Luka landing in San Antonio. Luka landing in the Lakers, in the grand scheme of things, isn't that surprising. He's going to land someplace. But for a guy like Giannis to jump from Milwaukee to San Antonio, nothing like that's ever happened.
Yeah, maybe so.
Those guys land in Boston, New York, Chicago, or L.A. They don't land in San Antonio.
No, you make a good point. It's pretty rare for someone like that to move, period. But to move to a place like San Antonio would be a pretty big deal. So
nothing like this has happened.
No, I can't even.
It's still 20%, but there's a chance.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to keep hope alive.
And for those that don't listen to the huddle, one of the things that we stress a lot is to win a title, you have to have a top 5 player. That the rules tell us that by who's won. You have to have a player that is in MVP consideration to win a title. It's been like that for 20 years. It's not going to change next.
It's been like that for more like 40 years now. I mean, it goes back in time, and there's like maybe 1-2 exceptions in the last 40 years where a team that won the title didn't have a top 5 player in the league. And my belief is that Giannis being here would give you a top 5 player today. Giannis has finished in the top 5 of the MVP voting in the last 6 years. And when he does start to decline, which is inevitable, he will eventually, by then hopefully Wemby is a top 5 player in the NBA, and your window just goes from being down the road to now and down the road.
We've done it.
Now, I have a question as it pertains to bringing in a Giannis Antetokounmpo and seeing what's happening to the Celtics and other teams that have spent a ton of money, especially this being a smaller market that doesn't usually go into those aprons.
Oh, you got to win in 3 years or it's all for naught.
That's what I'm saying.
If you don't win in 3 years,
you're talking about a very small window now and giving up the assets that could potentially keep that window open longer. Which one are you?
I take it's called bird in the hand.
Yes, sure. Chase the ring.
I get the idea, and this is the thing people in San Antonio hate talking about. Mm-hmm. There's a non-zero chance that Wemby is never a top 5 player in the league. Like I believe he will be, and I believe the odds certainly favor him becoming that. But there is a non-zero chance that he doesn't ever blossom into what he's going to be, or health prevents him from being that. There's a non-zero chance that Steph Castle, what we saw this year, is the best Steph Castle ever is. there's a non-zero chance that Dylan Harper is a bust in the NBA. Giannis is a guaranteed MVP caliber player. I take that over the hope that a young core might develop. Because hope, there's a lot of teams have hoped that their core would develop into something special, and a lot of teams have been left going, man, that didn't work out the way we thought it would.
I just look at the way these aprons are starting to affect these teams and the way they're deconstructing them as fast as they constructed them in the first place.
Well, that's good news, though. If a lot of teams are going to be blowing themselves up on a regular, so if you're part of it, then you can turn things around a lot quicker if you handle things right. But
it just
if
seems
you have the
detrimental
the rings
to have
the
multiple
it's so
Supermax
easy.
guys.
Well, it's so easy to get caught in the plan. The plan is this, and in 2 years, and 3 years, and 2 years, and before you know it, 10 years are gone, and you didn't get it. If there's an opportunity, you got to swing for it, or you just remain in the crowd and hope for lightning to strike.
Sam says, wasn't Wemby just rated number 6? I don't know. Maybe by some magazine. I'm talking about like MVP award, like MVP voting. That's how you know who the top 5-6 players in the league are. Who's in the MVP conversation? Shea, Jokic, Giannis,
Steph.
Tatum, Steph, those types of players. That's where we're at right now. There's certainly room for Wemby to join that. It's just he's not there yet. Wemby didn't finish in the top. He didn't get a single MVP vote. Didn't finish in the top 10.
We've seen it. It could
12.
Again, we put this at about 20%. I put it, there's an opportunity, and there's no reason not to prepare yourself if the opportunity should arise.
And by the way, Giannis is 30. He's not LeBron. He's not 40. Like, there's still tread on these tires. Hell, there's still tread on LeBron's tires. But Giannis is still 30 years old. Jokic is 29. Would anybody say I wouldn't trade for Jokic because he's too old? That's a crazy thing to say. He's the best player in the whole world. Of course you would trade for him. Giannis is like maybe 2 spots behind him right now. I don't care if he's 30.
I can't imagine the Bucks letting it get to it. I just can't imagine them not giving everything possible to keep him here for another year. And now 2 years from now, I can see an end to this. But I think they're going to do everything they can to keep him happy, find what is needed, and make him sleep comfortably, knowing this year's going to be tough. But in 2 years, once everything is back together, we'll have money, we'll have Dame healthy, and we'll give you another little run. But I think he's going to give him a 2-year window, and if it doesn't happen, Spurs might be back over there 2 years from now.
Plus, if I was to bet on which one of them was going to play longer, my money would go on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, by far. He loves the game, where Joker does the game to do other stuff.
Yeah. Darius says, tell that to the Clippers who traded for then MVP caliber Paul George and traded away their hope in SGA for him. I don't think the Clippers thought of SGA as their hope at the time. Like, he was clearly going to be a good young player, but that was also a team that felt like they could win right now if they went and got the right guy.
No, there was nothing wrong with that deal. Paul George was that good.
And had Paul George stayed healthy, he may have won a title.
But SGA was a revelation.
Yeah.
No one saw this coming.
Paul George's health eroded immediately after he left Oklahoma City. I mean, it's no fault. Well, I say it's no fault of the Clippers. I can't fault the Clippers for making the deal, though. All right, friends, that does it for us.
We are.
Got a little free agency news to take us out.
What do we got?
If you want.
Yeah.
This is the one you've all been waiting for.
Did we get half a bill? Did we hit it?
We've got a 2-year, $12 million deal for Jake LaRavia. He's going to the Lakers from the Kings.
Oh, my God. What?
I know.
Jake
title
LaRavia?
contenders, right?
Well, I think it's suffice to say LeBron is staying in L.A. now.
That'll be enough to keep him.
Because he did say he's going to keep an eye on things, and if the Lakers do enough to keep him around, he'll look to stay. So this certainly locks in LeBron.
Jake can shoot, though.
Good player.
Maybe Austin is now expendable. Maybe he is touchable now.
Please, different levels, friend. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Get up.
These other guys, they're going to have to show up and do their show tomorrow. We can't carry this station forever. We can do it for one day, not 2 days in a row. My back is sore.
Carrying
Rob's back is sore. Kitty, how do you feel? Do you want to do the show tomorrow? No? Okay. Sorry, friends. He'll be back in hiding tomorrow.
No one puts Kitty in the corner.
Well, actually, Jason Minix puts him in a corner. Jason's so intimidated by this cat that he can't even have him in the room and do the show with him. It's a shame, quite frankly. We appreciate you guys listening. Please give us a listen, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every single day. Hopefully you join us if you're just hearing us today. Pleasure, great job, man. We will see you guys down the road. Blitz back tomorrow at 2.
You're riding